2024 will go down as one of the most prolific years in the world of professional wrestling. Tonight, Cole TV looks back on the year that was 2024 in the world of professional wrestling. And now, Cole TV proudly presents to you the 4th Annual Golden Headlocks Awards. Now, here are your hosts, XLJ the OG and Mr. B-Roll.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to the 4th Annual Golden Headlock Awards, where we take a look back in the year that was that happened in professional wrestling in 2024. And my, oh my, what a year 2024 was. We have got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Of course, I'm XLJ the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. B-Roll.
Now are we doing out the world? And as that intro played, it's hard to believe that this is already our 4th annual Golden Headlocks Awards show. Shoot, I still remember the very first one. I wasn't even a part of it. I wasn't even a wrestling fan yet.
Yeah,
but here we are.
Here we are.
4 years later.
Yeah. And we got a lot to talk about because this was maybe one of the most prolific years in professional wrestling. Of course, we have got an all-star cast.
We're not alone.
Yeah, we're not alone. We got an all-star cast with us tonight, an esteemed panel. Of course, we got my other brother from my other mother, one Michael J. Duplessis. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are y'all?
Oh, we're doing great, man. Ready to talk about the year 2024 in pro wrestling. And also joining us from La Familia, it's our good cuz one Chrissy Tina. How are you?
Hi, babies. How's everyone doing tonight?
You're doing
the
wonderful.
fact that you had the nerve to put not only Tony Storm getting beaten up by Mariah May, but also Dominic sticking his tongue down Liv's throat. It's just immediately just PTSD. Just
These
immediately
were pivotal moments in the world of wrestling, though. This
I don't want to see it again.
And of course, we are joined by the velvet-voiced Adonis himself, the third sexiest man on Wrestle Talk. If we're still talking about Wrestle Talk as a thing, my adopted father, the Scout Machine.
Dad. Son, it's good to be back. I loved the year 2024 so much, I want to take it behind the Dunkin' Donuts and get it pregnant. I love 2024 so much, I wish we can go back to 2024 right now. So desperately. Those are good times.
I want to go back.
And Gout, I'm so sorry, but I never think that you take full advantage of your best name, which is the Megan the Stallion of Wrestle Talk.
The Megan the Stallion of Wrestle Talk. I got $1 million knees and they look like biscuits.
For days, baby, for days. I'm so ready.
Get these in gravy.
It's because his ass is voluptuous.
I seen it. Look at that! Oh man! Of course, you're giving our good buddy
for free.
For free.
Good. I'm gonna give
for his money.
Yeah, because Pat couldn't show up, so I have to be the shirtless male, part of the shirtless male demographic, which is so overlooked in society today and might be endangered. So for you,
Absolutely.
Pat.
Absolutely.
There's gonna be so many people tuning in, and like Pat's not here, and they're like, "Oh, I wanted to see his shirt."
It's a bait and switch. It's a bait and switch.
Well,
young Santa
I would pay for the content, Gout. Don't you listen to them. I would pay a heavy $15 a month on Patreon for that content. Don't you listen to them.
You and a few camp counselors.
I would go $9.95. Being honest.
I'm $8 on Cameo.
We did find you on Cameo. We did find you on Cameo, and I was like, I'll just send him. Do they tax you on Cameo?
They take. I don't know if they tax you, but they do take. Like I get only a chunk of it, but yeah.
I'll
Go
just
for
sell
it.
you at that point. I'll just sell you at that point. If you and the missus are willing to do like a solid, like a Kim Kardashian style tape, I'll buy the tape.
Oh my god. No,
And then just like no taxes.
she's not a pillow queen.
Honestly, that
my.
makes sense for you.
We're
Honestly,
already off the rails. I love it. Well, as I said, we got so much to talk
What
about
type
here.
of what type of
in the
award
year
show
for
is
us.
this?
I know.
The good kind.
Jesus. So we got so many awards we're giving out here tonight. So let's just get right into it. And kicking us off, we got our first category, Breakout Wrestler of the Year. A lot of good candidates for this one. A lot of potential, like so many wrestlers who had just all-star, amazing breakout years. If you could indulge me, I think I'd like to kind of kick this off because for me, there was several, but this person stood head and shoulders above the rest because I don't think you're going to have a person who had as quite of a first year as they had in this company. And this person, they completely dominated a division. They were a massive part of one of the biggest shows of the year. They told one of the best stories of the year, had one of the top, like, holy crap moments of the year. They have dominated. They have wiped the floor with the competition. And I am talking about my breakout wrestler of the year is your AEW Women's Champion, Mariah May. I mean, she has dominated. Like, everything she's done, like, she has been, I would go as far as to say, I think she is the best booked wrestler that's like debuted in AEW and like from what they've done with her so far. Like everything they've done with Mariah May has been chef's kiss, in my opinion. So for me, it's Mariah May as your breakout wrestler of the year.
No complaints here.
I can definitely accept that. From the young ingenue kind of stalker storyline, originally with Tony, to the immense betrayal, to that entire run, all the way up until All In, to now, she has gotten to the point where it doesn't seem like anyone else can touch her because no one's been booked as well as Mariah May. And that's coming from a very large Tony Storm fan, but looking from the outside in, she has been absolutely a force, and it's so nice to see women be at these higher spots on their cards and their respective companies. So coming from someone who is a Tony Storm diehard, as you all know, I can definitely give Mariah May her flowers for the year of 2024. She did absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I just like everything she did from like that heel turn, that, like, I mean, we saw it at the beginning of the show. I know it traumatized you to look at it again, Chrissy, but still, like, just that devastation of like her winning the own tournament, and there's that instantaneous turn. It was just like, oh my god, it was like a jaw-dropping moment, and just the brutality of it too. And the match she had with Tony Storm at All In, which was criminally put on, I think, second of the show, should have been way fucking higher. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, for me, it's Mariah May. And spoiler alert, this isn't the only award she's going to win from me. I'm just saying. B-roll. What about you, buddy? Who's your breakout wrestler of the year?
Yeah, like after hearing your answer, like I'm sitting here thinking, man, it's like it's so hard not to have like recency bias because like she's been like the champ for like half a year now, as we like, and like I didn't even consider her, but that's okay. I still feel like I have a good one. Definitely a breakout star. I would maybe say second best booked, or maybe no. This one is just more. I feel like on an individual level, they just keep getting better. My breakout star of the year, or breakout wrestler of the year, Kyle Fletcher.
Oh, that's a good one. That's good.
I accept it.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah, I think like with everything that he's done, because he kind of came out of nowhere too. Because I mean, I wasn't expecting to do all what they did with him, especially like as far as he went in the Continental Classic, the matches and the rivalry he had with Will Ospreay. Yeah, and you even think back to that with him teaming up with Ospreay. Hell, remember the match they had in Arthur Ashe against the Young Bucks with him and Ospreay challenge for the tag titles. I mean, that was a phenomenal match. So that's a good. That's a great pick.
He has definitely grown way beyond being just a tag team wrestler. I loved Aussie Open. I loved him and Mark Davis together. Yeah, I mean, like, I think we said it all the time on PW60 when we were talking about it. Like, he just gets better each week, and
yeah,
it was like continuous improvement. So
yeah, that's a great pick, man. Michael, what about you? Who's your breakout wrestler of the year?
I picked a guy who ended the year becoming the NXT champion, and that is Oba Femi.
Oh, the ruler. I love that. Yeah.
Dominated, the best booked wrestler, in my opinion, in NXT. Powerhouse, and I think his future is going to look very bright.
Oh, I 100% agree. And I would go as far as say this. I have no shadow of doubt. Like, Oba Femi is a future WWE champion, in my opinion.
Easily. He's going to be main eventing a Mania in the next 2 to 3 years.
He is what you would call like your 5-tool player. He can do it all. He's got the look. In-ring's awesome. Promos are great. He's very well spoken. He is just a wrestling promoter's dream. Like, you build companies around guys like him. So,
yes.
Yeah. Love me some Oba Femi. That's a great pick. Dad, how about you?
All right. So this is not a newer wrestler having a breakout. This is the year where I was like, oh my God, I realize this guy. I realized at the tail end of 2023, I witnessed him wrestle an insane match, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's a star. And then this year, 2024 was the year he became a star. So, and he became world champion. So I'm saying Swerve Strickland.
Ooh.
He was my number 2.
Yeah.
And as a homer, it kind of felt bad.
Yeah. Yeah, Swerve had a hell of a year, man.
Can't get mad at that. Can't get mad at that, man.
Won the championship, kept had banger matches banger after banger.
Swerve legitimately probably had one of the most rocket launched years I've ever seen out of my life. He was awarded, I believe, PWI's best rivalry of the year between him and Hangman. And it got to the point where they've set houses on fire. Like, that was an insane situation. But Swerve is one of those lucky ones where he's not only good in ring, but he can do an interview. He can do a Comic-Con appearance. He can sell music. He can sell merch. Like, Swerve is a star on Dwayne Johnson levels. They just need to use him correctly. And I really hope that they continue to do so in 2025.
Yeah. He will be champion again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nuts not
to. Question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nuts not to. Yeah. Swerve's, that's a great one. All these are great so far, man. I love them. Chrissy, what about you? Who's your breakout wrestler of the year?
So I'm not sure if y'all believed in 2024, but I for damn sure did. My pick is Joe Hendry for breakout of 2024. He absolutely, by firestorm, almost by force, in a Matt Cardona way, forced himself into the public eye. He made his song number 1 on most iTunes charts. He almost got his song done at the national singing competition. I forget what it's called. Eurovision. He almost got his song considered for Eurovision. His NXT debut is probably one of the loudest reactions I've ever heard. Almost close to AJ Styles in Paris. Like, this absolutely was Joe Hendry's year. Congratulations to him recently for just winning the TNA championship. But man, that man has ran from indie show to NXT, back to TNA, and all over again, and manages to keep himself grounded. And it's incredibly difficult. I actually did a signing opportunity, and I got to meet him in August of last year.
Mm.
And he's just who you would expect him to be, who you would hope him to be. And he just got through doing a show in Georgia the night prior, and then would have to fly out later on that night to go down to Florida. So with that kind of a work rate and how much he was doing, and for him to be as consistent as he was in 2024, it definitely has to go to him.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect pick. All these are great picks, really. And that just goes to show you how strong of a year it was 2024. There's so many great candidates for that. Speaking of great candidates, let's talk about our most underrated wrestler of the year. And I think there's a lot of these too. Chrissy, I'm going to start with you. Who's your most underrated wrestler of the year?
Willow Nightingale. I don't even want to do like a cute little like zinger right before. It's Willow Nightingale. It's Willow Nightingale. I have nothing else to say. Like it's common sense is so connected with the fact that it just should be Willow Nightingale that I really shouldn't have to say anything else. But just in case I do, this woman has done so much to kind of dig herself out of obscurity in AEW, even though she is one of the most talented women, not only in ring, but once again, very similar to Swerve, she can do a movie premiere. She can do an interview. She can do all of that. The fact that Willow Nightingale merch is not sold at live AEW events is absolutely important to me. The way that I would buy a Willow Nightingale unicorn shirt is absolutely criminal, and I want it bad. And she is so amazing. Now, Veruca Salt style. I want it now.
Give me what I want.
And what I want is more Willow Nightingale. Very similar to how Christopher Walken wanted more cowbell. I want more Willow Nightingale.
What a reference.
I need more
Willow
Nightingale.
Willow Nightingale.
Oh, that's criminally underrated. Yeah, that's a perfect pick. Best Scout. What about you, my friend?
All right. I'm taking this opportunity to give this man his flowers. AEW, when he was over there, didn't know what the hell to do with him. No, I'm not talking about Ethan Page. He is in the independents, and I know if you watch GCW, you see him, and the guy knows how to work the crowd in a way I'm like, fuck, how is this guy not bigger? And whenever I mention him to people, they laugh. And I'm like, no, he is a god in the ring. Joey Janela.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You know what?
Yeah.
He had one of my best matches of the year last year with him and Nick Wayne at Defy. The 60-minute Iron match.
Iron Man match. Yes, good example.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, Joey, Joey was one of the top, or you could even argue the face of GCW this year. He's one of the top draws, one of the top guys. So, I mean, that's a perfect pick. Yeah.
He's a top guy here in the Northwest when he comes to Seattle.
No, same thing in LA.
Yeah. I mean, he just came off of Hammerstein working Masato Tanaka, and I thought I was watching Tanaka and Ike Awesome there for a minute from ECW in the 90s.
He's working that actor that works in MLW. What is
Walter Hauser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's working. He's wrestling him at Defy.
Yeah. Dude, that's perfect. I love it. I love the bad boy. That's a great pick. What about you, Mike? Who's your most underrated wrestler of the year?
A guy who also is a singer in his free time. One of the scariest motherfuckers I've ever seen, and it's Brody fucking King.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
This dude gives me fucking nightmares. I've been watching him since the PWG days, and yeah, he's just how he has not become a champion, a singles champion at some sort in AEW is fucked up.
I look for him. I would not be surprised if we're doing this next year, and call me Nostradamus if he's like a breakout wrestler of the year for 2025. Yes. Like I think he's got the potential now that we know the kind of where. And I'm sorry, I forget what we're calling him now, but the former House of Black where they're going. I think I'm there you go. I think that's going to be amazing. He's going to have a phenomenal run. So
He barked yesterday on Dynamite, and it gave me chills.
Yeah. He is an intimidating man. Yes. Yeah.
We've talked about this before with Familia, where like there are certain wrestlers that I wouldn't want to actually catch outside. Brody Lee is definitely one of them. Brody Lee looks like he actually knows how to fight, and that's not someone who I would want smoke with.
And the funny thing is, I never thought about that, but I hang out with Bree and Husky a lot, and they'll show me videos from his concerts.
Yeah.
And he tosses people. Like, he tosses random strangers like he tosses Darby Allin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's fucked up.
God's Hate's going to be out here like next week, I think. I would kind of think of trying to go.
That'd be a good show.
I love this band.
I like it.
Get thrown. Get thrown. Gout. Get thrown. Gout.
Oh, sure. Have fun with that, guys.
Pick me. Yeah. B-roll. What about you, buddy? Who's your most underrated wrestler of the year?
Oh, right. So mine, this is going to sound kind of crazy because they actually were the world champion for their promotion, but I had to do this to put some respect on this man's name and the work he did this year. Mance Warner ended up becoming GCW world champion, but just more so getting the award because I feel didn't get enough of the overall public recognition, I guess you could say. Yeah. For the run that he ended up having, and just
it was the Manser era, baby.
He was dominant. Mm-hmm. The way they booked it and everything, and for when he got the title, it was perfect. There were some killer stories, and we'll probably talk about this through the night. There were some killer storylines in GCW this year. Yeah. And so, not to spoil later things, but this is not the only award that he'll be a part of.
My answer, baby. Oh, my answer. That's a great pick. I love it. All these picks have been great. And I love, too, how we've all had somebody different. I have somebody that's different, too, as well. And it may kind of shock some people with my pick, but I think I'm like you, B-Roll. I don't think this man nearly has gotten enough attention and love as he deserves, because this man easily had one of the best years anybody has ever had. This man should easily be in the top 5 of all wrestlers in the entire world, because the stuff that this guy did is unprecedented. And he is your current IWGP heavyweight champion. Zack Sabre Jr. is my most underrated wrestler of the year. I mean, the guy wins the G1, becomes the second Gaijin to ever do that. He becomes the first Gaijin to win in the Wrestle Kingdom main event. Now, I know that's technically 2025, but still, though, like the run that Zack Sabre Jr. went on this year is just like he's the face of New Japan Pro Wrestling. When you think of New Japan, it is Zack Sabre Jr. And I think he doesn't get nearly as much love here, especially in North America. But Zack Sabre Jr. is just a criminally underrated wrestler, in my opinion. And that's my
Zach Morris.
Underrated. Zach Morris. Zach Morris is trash. All right. Our next award is the Rookie of the Year. Which I don't know about you guys, but I kind of had a little bit of difficulty with this one because they're not a huge field. Let's be honest, but I mean, there's some candidates here, and some of us may have had to cheat just a little bit. But I'm gonna start with you, Mike. Who's your Rookie of the Year?
I had Connie Jordan.
Okay, yeah.
Phenomenal year for NXT. Women's North American champion, had phenomenal PLE matches. Yeah.
What are you smiling about there, B-roll?
You're the same one?
XLJ's personal favorite wrestler.
I'm sorry.
That's your favorite, right?
Yeah. If you like white bread, then I'm sorry. I think it's a great choice for Rookie of the Year. It's just like she just not my cup of tea. I'll just leave it at that. And like I also went with somebody from NXT, but or actually, if you don't mind, if the class don't mind, I'll go ahead and give you my pick because I went with an NXT talent. And granted, they didn't win a championship. I still think they had more of an impactful year. I think they are going to be more of an impactful wrestler on down the road. And I love everything that she has done so far. I went with Jada Parker was my pick for for her as rookie of the year. Love her, love her, incredible performer. Nothing against Kalani, she's fine. Like I say, just not for me. So. Chrissy, what about you? Who's your rookie of the year?
This guy has done a lot in the last year, and it was rough. My co-host on our podcast, Pat the Wise Man, who couldn't be with us here tonight, we kind of fought over it. His pick was going to be Obafemi, which I don't blame him for that pick. Oh my God, Gal. My pick is Javon Evans. I think Javon Evans had a banger 2024. Javon Evans and Wesley's chemistry was absolutely amazing. Javon Lee and Ethan Page probably was one of the best NXT storylines I had in 2024 that's carrying over to now. And I'm really excited to see what he does this year. He was a little annoying for me at first, but I don't blame that on him. I blame that more with WWE taking a zinger word and kind of driving it into the ground. That's why Jey Uso isn't Jey Uso anymore. He's just yeet to a lot of people. And I didn't want that for Javon Evans with Bouncy, but he managed to kind of break himself away from that and showed who he is outside of the catchphrase, who he is outside of the trademark and the marketing. And the person who he is who I got connected to. So I'm really, really excited to see what he does for himself going into this year.
Beautiful. Excellent pick. Best Scout. What about you? Who's your rookie of the year?
So I feel like everyone chose NXT and NXT wrestlers. Well, I went with an indie wrestler who's only been around for a couple of years, and she recently got WWE ID'd. So I'm going to go with the petite powerhouse, Zara Zacher.
Ooh,
she's phenomenal, amazing. And like she got WWE picture. So like obviously they see what we see in her.
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
And
good.
one of the nicest people in the world.
Oh, I've seen her like live 3 times this year, and I'm not getting around to being like, "Hey, can I get a photo?"
She was supposed to wrestle here in Lacey. Her opponent canceled, so she just hung out and took pictures. And we sat and we talked music for like an hour.
We love that. We love that.
That's incredible. I love that so much. That's great. All great picks so far. B-roll. How about you? Who's your rookie of the year?
My rookie of the year, and all like you said, all great picks. I'm a little surprised no one else had this pick though. Mine was Zilla Fatu. Wish he would have continued to be booked in GCW. But we're not into the drama. We're saving the drama for your mama. We're looking at the year that was and moving on and going forward. But definitely extremely talented. So fortunate enough to actually have got to meet him a couple times. Seems super like a pretty chill, super nice.
He landed on top of me.
We'll see.
We almost ate Waffle House with him. Yeah, he's an outstanding young man.
Never go to a Waffle House with him.
He did like a chope suicida on him. No one moved on my row, and so Zilla Fatu landed on me.
I mean, honestly, most people would pay for that, and you got that for free.
I got it for free.
Facts.
Well, you paid it to get into the show, so did you get it for free?
I mean, you also pay for add-ons. You pay for add-ons when you go to a show.
Yeah, I didn't pay no add-on.
Yeah, you have to pay extra. So there. Well, so far, all excellent choices. I love how we've all had different picks in all of our categories so far. But like I say, it's such an amazing year in the world of pro wrestling. But we're going to look back tonight as well on the Golden Headlocks for Cole TV, because it is without a shadow of doubt our biggest year to date. We had an incredible 2024, and we got to look back on some of the highlights and whatnot. So check this out. We got a ton of cool stuff lined up for 2024 this year, don't we, Mr. B-Roll?
2024 is our year.
That's right. We're taking over.
Tonight we are victorious, champagne pouring over us. All my friends were glorious. Tonight we are victorious.
God damn it, I love wrestling!
Is black and poisonous, and nothing like my punch drunk kiss. I know you need it. Do you feel it? Drink the water, drink the wine. Oh, we gotta turn up the crazy, living like a washed up celebrity, shooting fireworks like it's the 4th of July, until we feel alright. Until we feel alright. Trinkets all up the sleeve. I taste like magic. Waves that swallow quick and deep. Throw the bait, catch the shark, bleed the water red. 50 words for murder, and I'm every one of them. My touch is black and poisonous, and nothing like my punch drunk kiss. I know you need it. Do you feel it? Drink the water, drink the wine.
My dad will come.
I'm coming for you, boy. And I'm coming hard.
He'll come to the Patronus.
I don't care. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Holy fuck balls, this goes deeper than I thought.
God damn you, Benji!
I get what you fucking deserve.
Hi, macabre sluts. Purveyors of cinema are searchers of cinephilia. These titty lovers. They're about to go into a journey.
They're not messing around.
It's not hopeless. I feel the same. Yeah, we're relentless. Down and out, don't count us out. Fight the fear. We're here to stay. We're marching. Hear us calling. One step closer, can you hear us now? Victorious. One step
finally been finished, or at least this chapter, perhaps. I feel like I disappeared. Can you see me?
No.
It's the poltergeist.
Oh, come on now, John. Come on now, John Cena. The real question is, how in the heck did we fit all that in 1 year? That's the real question.
No kidding, right?
That is the real
Legitimately,
question.
what that video shows me is three things: is that WrestleMania 40 was absolutely insane. It was literally the end game of that version of WWE. Just seeing Damian alone cash in made me emotional. The amazing indie events is number 2. Indie wrestling was so good in 2024. You guys were live and in person for most of it. Amazing work. The indie women this year did such amazing work, and they will continue to do so. And 3 is friendship is amazing. And I love the relationship that all of y'all have. It's so good. The chemistry with the PW60 crew is unmatched.
Yeah, outside of my crack addiction, there is not a single toxic person in this group.
God.
Yeah.
We made it to what?
We-
It's
we
minute
definitely
39.
were-
I feel like we
were
made it farther than I thought we were gonna.
Yeah.
I feel like we made it farther
We
than we
definitely
thought we
were
were
very
gonna.
blessed with the amount of indie events. Like GCW came within 40 minutes of us, like I think 3, maybe 4 times between Louisville and Indy. So we were definitely blessed with GCW and other indie events.
It was so much happened last year. I literally was like, I had to reset myself. So,
Yep,
well,
we're
little
live.
technical difficulties there. We're live. But
We're
seriously,
back,
like
baby.
2024, as you saw there, it was so incredible. And thank you so much, Chrissy, and all for those kind words. It was by far our best year to date. Like in 2025, we got a lot of stuff planned too. But seriously, 2024 would not be possible without all of your love and support. We love you all dearly, and we thank you so much for all the love that you give us here on Cole TV. All right, we got a lot more awards to give out, so let's get right back into it. Our next award is the Indie Wrestler of the Year, I believe.
Drum roll, please.
All right, our Independent Wrestler of the Year. And of course, I think it's apropos we start with the man who does all of our indie reports on PW61, Michael J. Duplessis. Mike, who's your Indie Wrestler of the Year?
It is a guy who, a lot of the cards, when I did my indie wrestling reports, he was on a lot of goddamn cards around the country. And I very much, when I think of top indie wrestlers, for me, it's who works the most WrestleMania weekend when all the indie shows are coming to wherever WrestleMania is. And this year, it was by far Mustafa Ali.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, you could easily argue like he had one of the best years. Like you could, I think, especially at the beginning of the year, a lot of people arguing that he was like wrestler of the year. I mean, no argument here because I mean he had a stellar year. That's a perfect choice, man. I love it. What about you, Best Scout? Who's your indie wrestler of the year?
All right, I picked this guy because I'm trying not to make this one long. I picked him because I see him in GCW. You'll see him in Prestige. You'll see him in West Coast Pro, and then he made it to Pro Wrestling Noah, and they had him in the N1 Victory, which is like their G1 climax. You already know who I'm going with, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I swear I've said this a million times, and I 100% believe it. He is the next Kenny Omega, Titus Alexander.
Oh, that's good.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
You knew where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another perfect pick too. What about you?
Love
Chris?
him.
Who's your rookie or indie wrestler of the year?
My indie wrestler of the year?
Yes.
I'm lucky enough to actually call this person a friend because I have connections now, but it's MLW's own former world champion, Alex Kane. How are we not talking about this? Booyah is for the people, baby. He has had such an incredible year to the point where he was named as number 26 on PWI's top 500. And he beat out people that are currently on AEW and WWE's payroll as an indie wrestler that is working all over the US in different promotions, not just MLW. And for him to be the talent that he is, let alone the person that he is absolutely my choice for Indie Wrestler of the Year.
That's perfect. We
Good
love
human.
Alex Kane. We've had the
Boy.
privilege to talk to Alex a couple times here on the channel. Alex, good buddy of ours. We love Alex Kane. Yeah, that's a hell of a good choice as well. B-roll. What about you? Who's your Indie Wrestler of the Year?
Yeah, I feel like I totally kind of cheated with this answer, and I'm gonna be completely honest. And this answer is very, very, very biased, but um, I like this dude a lot, and my indie wrestler of the year is Cole Radrick. Just with everything he went through this year,
Ratty daddy.
coming back from injury, everything. Got to work with him at his show that he did in Spencer there, and it was just awesome. Rowdy Daddy's awesome.
That's a wonderful pick. I am going to be talking about him here in a little bit. I
want to have his baby.
I may be with his child.
I want him to take me out to the ocean. I want him to feed me lobster.
So for my Indie Wrestler of the Year, we have already talked about this person. It's the Mance Era baby. Mance Warner was my Indie Wrestler of the Year. I mean, he had a dominant year in GCW. Like B-roll said earlier, highly underrated, I think. I mean, he was the face of GCW for the entire year. Told some incredible stories. I mean, and we went to, and as you saw in the video, we went to several of the shows, and just his crowd interactions, the way he reacted. He got up in your face, B-roll. He was about to smack the shit out of you, but cooler heads prevailed. But yeah, Mance Warner for me was Indie Wrestler of the Year. Just had an amazing year. So, all right, up next is a new award this year at the Golden Headlocks. It is the International Wrestler of the Year. Now, granted, this, just to clarify, this could be somebody who wrestles overseas, or it could be somebody that is international that wrestles here in the States, which that kind of segues into my pick, because I felt like this man had such an incredible year. Hell, he only lost 2 matches this year. This man dominated. I went with the Ring General. Gunther is my International Wrestler of the Year. You could easily say Gunther has probably been the best booked wrestler in the WWE the past 3 years. Like, everything they've done with his rise to his dominance as the most dominating Intercontinental Champion, to now this World Championship, world title run, winning the what was he? Won King of the Ring to get that title shot. Yeah, Gunther, to me, he's the best international wrestler right now, period. So he's my International Wrestler of the Year. What about you, Chrissy? Who's your International Wrestler of the Year?
My choice is the power palm to your heart. It is Mina Shirakawa.
Yes.
She's done amazing, like stupid amazing work in 2024. Can we talk about the entire takeover she had, along with the Toni Storm and Mariah May storyline, the amazing work that she's been doing in Stardom, the amazing work that she's been doing on the Continuous Indies out here. Like, she made people pay attention to her in 2024, and she's getting offers all over the place now. To what I'm hearing, she might be getting looked at to be poached by the Performance Center. And in a WWE payroll, Mina Shirakawa would be something incredibly interesting to see. But I absolutely became obsessed, not just for the vanity reasons of it all, but as a talent, she's absolutely incredible. I'm so happy with what she's been doing, and I can't wait to see what she does this year.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal choice. Matter of fact, that was almost who I went with. But I was just like, I gotta acknowledge Gunther for something. But no, with her, here's the thing with Mina. She reminds me so much of Nakamura. When the first time I saw Nakamura, first time I saw Mina was like over a year ago. It was at and I'm sorry, and especially to you, Light Skin, because I'm forgetting the name of the show, but like Stardom's big Wrestle Kingdom they do every year. First time I ever saw Mina was last year at that show, and I was just that was the one match on that show that stuck out the most to me, and her performance is just like you can just tell, like, okay, she's going to translate so well into a North American crowd. So yeah, I think that's a wonderful pick. Mina is incredible. B-roll. What about you? Who's your international wrestler of the year?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of cheated on this one a little bit because I had a tie. Yeah, I had a tie. I couldn't decide between the two, so I kind of made up my own rule and said that I'm allowed to have a tie here. But I went with Julia and Stephanie Vicker. Both had phenomenal years, which both eventually ended up in NXT. But I just absolutely love that women's division in NXT. It is just so fully loaded, and I loved everything about their year, and then even like their debut in NXT, really being presented as this like dominant force that was coming into it. So I cheated and I had a tie,
but I mean, also too, you talk about two wrestlers whose kind of careers are paralleling each other, so to speak, both coming in at the same time into NXT too. So yeah, that's those are great picks. What about you, Gout? Who is your international wrestler of the year?
So I went with someone who's still wrestling internationally as opposed to an international person over here. And you saw them live last year. I'm going to go with TJPW's Mio Watanabe.
Ooh,
she was champion most of the year. I love her. She was so sweet when I met her December of the year before. Call me Santa-san because I had a Santa hat on. But I love her. She does a swing better than Claudio could ever do. She can lift any. She lifted like two girls at once at one point this year. Just love her.
That's a good one. I love that. What about you, Mike? Who is your international wrestler of the year?
Maki Ito.
That's a good one.
A fallen idol. Love it.
Yes.
Love her.
The stuff in Stardom, GCW.
Yeah,
other independents is just
she was what, the Ultra, or what was it? The one GC. It's not Ultra. Extreme champion.
Yeah.
Throughout the year. So yeah, that's a perfect pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
All great picks. Love it. So, well, up next, we are going to go with our most improved wrestler of the year category. Best Scout, I'll start with you. Who is your most improved wrestler of the year?
This man, Jack Perry. Scapegoat Jack Perry.
Good one.
I swear, there was we loved him as Jungle Boy, and then when he actually talked on a mic, we kind of realized, oh, he can't really do that. But he went away for a few months. He must have taken acting lessons or something. But he came back. I love the black buzz. I love the whole aesthetic. I love that he went like 20 some odd minutes against Bryan Danielson at All Out. I thought that match was phenomenal. I was hoping more people would talk about him. But in my eyes, he is the most improved wrestler out there right now.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
Jack Perry!
Jack Perry had a hell of a year too, man. Winning that TNT title, like you say, kind of pivotal moments in the Elite storyline this year. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with him this year. Yeah, I love it.
I'll kiss him on the
mouth. Chrissy, how about you? God. All that. How about who's your most improved wrestler of the year?
Yeah, I would kiss mine on the mouth as well, consensual. But it's Damian Priest. Damian Priest, who was kind of given the almost curse of Money in the Bank, so much so to the point where we were worried that he would never cash it in, that he would be the first person to just accidentally forget the deadline. That's how close to the wire. They had Damian Priest the beginning of 2024 with that suitcase. But as you showed in the video before, that cash-in was monumental for his career. I could hear the stadium blow up. You knew how important it was, and he took that and he ran with it to the point where people still want to see him, even though he is not champion. And that's how you know that you've made your mark, when there's no longer a belt on you, but you're still just as important as you were when you had it. I'm so painfully, achingly proud of him and the work that he's done from Punishment Martinez to now. He was an absolutely incredible in NXT. The work that he did with Io Shirai in NXT is probably my favorite run of a co-ed tag team that they've ever done. And with what he did now and what he continues to do, I'm so stupidly proud of Damian Priest, and he's super my most improved wrestler of 2024.
Yeah, Damian Priest had another breakout year. Like, you could argue him for Wrestler of the Year, honestly, as good of a year as he had. So, and I am so pumped to see what's going to happen to him this year. Like, fingers crossed. Hope it's going to be a great year, but it's going to be hard to top what he did in 2024. Mike, what about you, buddy? Who's your most improved Wrestler of the Year?
Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Coming from a guy who was a prize fighter, wasn't talking, was very much dwindling before the Bloodline breakup, and then that whole storyline kind of put him in the, I'm not gonna say main event, but kind of let him elevate and show that there was something more to him. Very impressive.
Yeah, Solo, definitely had a huge year. Which I don't think any of us really anticipated, like, how good he was going to turn out to be. Like honestly, like, I think we thought, okay, there's something here, but like that pivotal moment this year when they put Paul Heyman through the table at Madison Square Garden, I mean, just like the crowd's hating his guts still to this day. Solo had a hell. Yeah, that's a great pick. What about you, B-Roll? Who's your most improved wrestler of the year?
So for me, it's once again, I'm gonna say it's so funny because of like recency bias. Because like when Best Scout said Jack Perry, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about him. But I'm gonna go with the one that took the title off of Jack Perry, though, Daniel Garcia. Just I've always been a big fan of Daniel Garcia. But went from this year, I feel like went from like the, very gimmicky with the dance and everything, which we all love, but took a more of a serious and is now your TNT champion. So
yeah, that's all great picks, and what I love so far, I don't think any of us have had the same pick so far, and that's going to continue. Because for me, this person really came out of left field, in my opinion, and I am just blown away. I just feel like this is somebody everybody's been sleeping on, myself included. But this year started showing signs. The second part of the year showing huge signs. And I think 2025 is honestly going to be their year. For me, my most improved wrestler of the year is Harley Cameron. Because just the stuff she's doing now, and just like, I think it's one of those things that's trials by error. They started her first off with, with the QT TV stuff, which didn't work.
Hot garbage.
But now she's like being herself. Like I think as she puts it, she's like a hot nerd, right? Like she, obviously a gorgeous, stunning woman, but like super talented, not only in the ring, which I think her ring work has vastly improved as well, but just like the promos, the character, she's really finally tuned into like who she really is. So I can't wait to see what Harley Cameron does this year. But for me, she's my most improved wrestler of the year. So. Well, we talked about it earlier. We like Cole TV. We've done so much this past year, and there's just some clips or some stuff that we got to highlight. We got to look back on that we're so fond of, and we're going to do that all throughout the show. So that being said, here is one of those clips, one of the highlights from Cole TV this year. Believe it or not, I was able to get this footage at last minute of a WBF competitor that was actually blacklisted from the WBF.
Here's one of the new up-and-comers.
WBF, bro. WBF.
Jay.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, God.
Amazing.
Oh, God.
And then,
Dear
elbow
God.
into the elbow.
the
Pop
Oh,
and
my
trap
God.
block. Pop and trap from the side.
Oh, Lord.
Just amazing.
On another level. God damn it.
Yeah, that happened, folks. That happened. You can catch up.
I have dreams about that every night.
Me too. Me too. So,
Me too.
Chrissy's over here like, what the fuck?
I thought that there would be less nudity now that Pat wasn't here, but I feel like it's just as much.
We've upped the ante. So
Enter the pale.
That's Cole TV's mission statement to all 2025. We're going to try to have as much nudity as you never know. That's going to be on the
Sign up for our Patreon today.
Sign up for the Patreon.
All right, let's move on to our next topic or next category here at the Golden Headlocks, which would be your most inspirational wrestler of the year. And there's a lot of good ones, I think, for this one. If you don't mind, folks, I'd like to kind of go first on this one because this one was just a moment. If you know this person, I never thought we'd get to see him in the ring ever again. And when they came out, it was a lifelong dream because this person, to me, in the history of professional wrestling, is just one of those big what ifs because of some unfortunate events that happened to him, and for him to return at one of the biggest shows of the year in his home country. My most inspirational wrestler of the year is Nigel McGuinness. That moment lives rent free in my head. Him coming out at All In, and the fact not only that, he looked damn good. And for him to get one last match with his arch nemesis Bryan Danielson at Arthur Ashe, that was such an incredible moment. My God, I love Nigel McGuinness to pieces.
Beautiful.
He's my most inspirational wrestler of the year.
Honestly,
B-roll.
no notes.
Yeah. What about you, B-roll? Who's your most inspirational?
Yeah, so I won't lie. I struggle with this category a little bit, but I do feel like I'm happy with where I landed on it. I went with Bo Dallas / the Wyatt Six. Just with, I mean, with
It's okay if I eat.
we all know.
Yeah, bro.
We all
You do
know,
you, homie.
Shit, I'm right there with you.
We all know. We all know what happened with Bray and everything, and but just to continue on his legacy and everything, the debut was absolutely amazing. Say what you want of how it's been booked since, but just the continuing on the legacy, if anything, is why I went with this one.
Yeah, that's a great pick, man. Yeah, that's and when they came out, oh my gosh, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house when that happened. Crazy. What about you? Who's your most inspirational wrestler of the year?
Me, it's Chelsea Green. And I don't mean inspirational in terms of the immense heartstring pulls like what you and B-roll had mentioned. I mean in terms of work ethic and grind and drive. Like, this woman was the person that Bryan Danielson cheated on Brie Bella with all those years ago. This is the woman that was on what was it? Was it NXT or was it Tough Enough?
Tough Enough.
She was on Tough Enough and she didn't make it. And then she did the indies and then she came back and then they fired her and then she did the indies again and then she came back. And very similar to Joe Hendry, she kind of forced herself into the public eye with the video vignettes that she would do for WWE.com and the Instagram pages. And she's just stupidly talented. She's so funny and witty, and she's amazing in the ring. Like, she's actually improved over the year with her in-ring skills, and she was amazing as is. This is the woman that went toe-to-toe with Penta and probably had one of the most memorable matches to date just in wrestling, point blank, period. So for her to get better is almost kind of terrifying. And for her to finally win this pivotal championship, the United States Women's Championship, and for it to forever be cemented that it was Chelsea Green that was the very first woman to do it. She deserves that rank. She deserves to be the very first version of something with all of the work that she's ever done. And for her to almost go toe-to-toe with the popularity of her husband, Matt Cardona, who is the indie god, is crazy to me. Well served. She not only built herself up, but she took Piper Niven with her.
Oh yeah, 100.
Girl, at the most exact definition of the word. Like, she brought up the women around her, and that's what you're supposed to do. Chelsea Green, from what I hear, is an incredibly large locker room leader in the back, as she should be. You can do better than having someone like Chelsea Green be in your corner. And according to the women who work for WWE, she's in everyone's corner. So she's an amazing worker. She's a comeback kid. She's a girl's girl. Like, it doesn't get much better than that, for me at least.
Yeah, Chelsea had a stellar year, and I mean, she deserves it. She deserves everything and then some. She is arguably one of the best wrestlers going today, period. Best Scout, who's your most inspirational wrestler of the year?
All right. He was diagnosed with cancer not that long ago and came back to wrestling just a few months later, immediately won a championship. And as someone who currently lives with someone that currently has cancer, that's a major victory to see. So mine is going to New Japan's El Phantasmo.
ELP. I love that.
ELP.
Yeah, and recently winning the TV title.
TV, yeah, NJPW TV.
That's a
beautiful.
That's I love me some ELP. Just watch out for your nipples, though.
He can have these. It's gonna be a stretch. It's gonna be a while.
Hey, Mike, what about you, buddy? Who's your most inspirational wrestler of the year?
So, ironically, it's the other half of the Chelsea Green Matt Cardona marriage. Matt Cardona, a guy who, again, fired from WWE, then became this indie god. He's pretty much taken a whole company in GCW. Is like, I'm going to put y'all on my motherfucking back. And he has picked up everyone up in that locker room. And he has made, they did some huge shows last year, working in malls, working in some of the biggest venues, Hammerstein. He's literally helped GCW become a thing, even bigger of a thing, and has upped his career. So it's Matt Cardona.
That's a perfect pick. Yeah, always ready, baby. Yeah, all great, phenomenal picks too. And once again, I love it. We're all different. That just shows you how versatile this year was.
We're
all right. Up
person.
Next, we got comeback of the year. Best Scout. I'm gonna start with you. Who is your comeback wrestler of the year?
All right, I picked a man who you don't see. Okay, he did not come back to wrestling, but you did see him and you saw him a lot. And then when I talked, you saw him in every different company. And I did a video talking about him. And when I got off my phone from recording and posting, he had already appeared in another company. JBL.
Wow.
I ain't mad at it.
I mean, he was everywhere. It's in a weird way.
Everywhere, even in Mexico.
And what is it all like? What's he? We still don't know. A man of mystery.
He's Thanos. He's looking for the Infinity Gauntlet, and every single, he's looking for Trump's Horcruxes. Each company.
Oh,
They're
dear
all
God.
one's in MLW, one's in CMLL.
Oh no.
Oh, my
He
God.
has to destroy a championship belt or a wrestler or something, or chair.
Oh, dear God.
And somehow Nick Nemeth is the key to it all.
Because he's a
the
wanted.
of the whole
He's
series.
a wanted man. Oh, God. Oh, B-roll. What about you? Who's your comeback wrestler of the year?
Well, I'm going to echo your sentiments from your most inspirational. For my comeback wrestler of the year, I went with Nigel McGuinness. It was awesome to see him come back and get that moment at All In, and to even get a renewed rivalry with Bryan Danielson. So could you could have went with most inspirational wrestler, but comeback of the year, Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah, I doesn't get much better than that because, like I say, he's one of those rare ones where we never thought we'd get to see him wrestle again, like an Edge or a Cope, or like a Bryan Danielson, but he's right. Yeah, I know. Anyways, Chrissy, how about you? Who's your comeback wrestler of the year?
Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland for me is my comeback wrestler of the year. He literally went from being the dude that broke Big E's neck and ended his career to actually having people not send him death threats anymore. If that's not a comeback of the year, I don't know what is. I don't know what is.
And he's responsible for Chase U breaking up. Yeah,
exactly. Like he did amazing work with Chase U, amazing, incredible work with Chase U. So to go from somebody that people deemed unsafe to work with to having one of the best angles in NXT in 2024, I think he's gonna have a banner year in 2025 based off of that. And for him to do that much of an amazing job in getting his footing back is really impressive.
Yeah, that's a great pick, man. Love him or hate him or whatever, but you hit the nail on the head. The fact that like a lot of people hated his guts for being a part of that tragic accident with one of the most beloved wrestlers today, Big E. So
I decapitated a horse and put it on his bed.
Yeah. Well, for me, my comeback wrestler of the year, this one hits kind of home for me because of, as B-roll alluded to earlier, this gentleman, he's a good, close personal friend of ours. I went with the Ratty Daddy himself, one Cole Radrick, to come back from that injury he had, which was just like gut punching, I know, for him, because I mean, he had a big year winning that brass ring, getting that title shot, looking like maybe he'd be cashing that in or something, and then having that devastating injury. But I want to say this too, knowing him personally, just the person he's become. I mean, he was a great person from the get-go, but I've noticed with him just so much maturity with him now running like his own promotion here in Spencer, which is a phenomenal promotion. MWT, check them out. But just seeing him, we had the privilege of working behind the scenes with him, and just seeing how he was running the show. I mean, B-roll, I know you remember, literally he was hobbling around in a leg cast, like just doing everything for that amazing The Schmitty Show, which we were so privileged to be a part of. So for me, and to now see him get the fruits of his labor, he so rightfully deserves to not only win the tag team championship in GCW here recently, but also be a massive part of that big story with Effie this year as well. So for me, Cole Radrick's our comeback of the year. What about you, Mike? Who is your comeback wrestler of the year?
Is CM Punk.
Yep. Kind of hard to argue.
Can I argue?
Not only come back to WWE, but he had the injury. He came back. He had that phenomenal feud with Drew McIntyre. That was one of my favorite feuds of the year for that company.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and you could easily say Punk going into this Royal Rumble is maybe the favorite. And there's some heavy hitters in this Royal Rumble, one of the most star-studded filled Royal Rumbles today. Yeah, I mean it's hard to argue, man. I mean CM Punk, love or hate him, man. I mean it's Punk, man, and he did have a freaking awesome year, and to come back from that triceps injury, and he came back relatively quick when you think about it.
Yeah.
With this recovery rate and stuff. So
Yeah, credit where credit's due. He has not gotten injured since.
that's true. That's true, and he's been working some good, solid matches since then too. So yeah. All great winners, all great candidates, all great all
Especially mine.
Especially yours, he says. Well, this next category is a new one here for the Golden Headlocks, but I think in this day and age, it's extremely important. It's our social media wrestler of the year. Now, this is the wrestler who just took social media and just utilized it to its fullest potential. That being said, Chrissy, I'll start with you. Who is your social media wrestler of the year?
I really don't think there's any other answers here. It's Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Okay, we got our first because he was my pick too.
If we all just agree on it, we can just move on. Like it's Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
B-roll, you
my
got Drew
pick as well.
He took a picture with Jungle Boy. For God's sake, like hello,
a master of trolling.
Yeah.
I prayed for times like this.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Come on.
Like I had a
Insanity.
feeling that this would maybe be the first one we had first one that a lot of us agreed on. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I think it's a clean sweep.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Gout. No, I'm see Gout shaking
No,
his head.
no, I did not pick Drew McIntyre. No.
Really?
Mike, did you pick Drew or
I picked Drew.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right. So all
Because
of us
I'm the guy that ignores WWE like crazy.
That makes sense.
So as someone who like is outside the WWE world, I picked, and I love her, Nyla Rose. I love her. She's witty. If you come after her, she has a comeback. If you try to like shit on her, she got you. She will fuck you up with words. And she has her little feud with Serpentico. I love it. When she pops up on my feed, I'm so happy. I love her.
Yeah, that's a great pick too. A lot of people don't like. Yeah, that's one that I didn't even think about. But as soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. She's tremendous. She's another one of those wrestlers who really utilizes social media. But I mean, Drew though, like I say, I think Drew was the troll master of the year, and I mean, I'll never forget especially the stuff he was doing, building up, especially to the first matchup with Punk, which did occur at SummerSlam this year. Speaking of SummerSlam, perfect segue. This year here on Cole TV, we had the distinct privilege of journeying to Cleveland for SummerSlam weekend. It was an amazing time. So check this out.
I let you drive around my mind. I can't count the times you made me feel like I'm nothing. Play me like a fool, saying drink another whiskey, pop another pill. Money makes you happy, heaven isn't real. You won't find nobody to love because your heart's too broke. Now I know you ain't nothing but a liar. Yeah, I walk right out the fire. Yeah, you try to keep me down, try to put me underground, but I'm only going higher. I can hear you in my head, in my bed when I'm dreaming. You try to be my friend, but you're blowing smoke. Oh, and now I ain't scared of telling you where you can go, 'cause I know you're nothing but a lie. You burned me one too many times, like a devil in disguise, hiding your true colors. Just leave me alone, keep leading me on, saying drink another whiskey, pop another pill. Money makes you happy, heaven isn't real. got nobody to love because your heart's too broke. Now I know you ain't nothing but a liar. Yeah, I walk right out the fire. Yeah, you try to keep me down, try to put me underground, but I'm only going higher. I can hear you in my head, in my bed when I'm dreaming. You try to be my friend, but you're blowing slow. Oh, and now I ain't scared of telling you where you can go, 'cause I know you're nothing but a lie. If I was doing what you do, then you would swear I'd poison you. You're nothing but a liar. Yeah, I walk right out the fire. Yeah, you try to keep me down, try to put me underground, but I'm only going higher. I can hear you in my head, in my bed when I'm dreaming. You try to be my friend, but you're blowing smoke. Oh, and now I ain't scared of telling you where you can go, 'cause I know you're nothing but a lie.
I'm so glad that you guys got to experience that.
Yeah, SummerSlam was pretty awesome. We had a lot of stories, of course, a lot of stories behind the scenes. I see B-roll over there smiling. It was a
Yep.
long night. Needless to say,
Yep.
I got to say
Did
Cleveland's
you know?
transit system.
Did you know
sucks.
that? Did you know Otto Graham?
Yeah.
Once
I'll never hear the
I
end of
love
that.
this story.
had a touchdown game. Did you know that?
Yeah, true story. Well, we got plenty
I
more
know a lot
awards
about
to give
Otto
out.
Graham.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
We got plenty of awards to give out here at the Golden Headlocks. So let's go to our next category, which is the promo artist of the year. Of course, a lot of good wrestlers out there with the mic skills and a lot of great candidates for this one this year. Best Scout, who's your promo artist of the year?
All right, so this guy turned heel this year, and we went from loving him to going, oh my god, this man hates everyone. He hates everybody. When he talks about hating someone, you fucking mean it. And he burnt a house down. Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Can't deny it, because I mean, yeah, just the intensity coming out of him. I mean, like you said, for fuck's sakes, he burned a man's house down.
And he gets mad at other heels. Like, he's a heel's heel. He is just an angry fucking man, and I believe it. I feel like this man totally morphed into another person, and I don't want to ever make him angry.
No.
It's like him and Kendrick Lamar. I don't want to fuck with either one.
The facts.
You're pretty accurate.
Mustard on the heat.
It's interesting you went with Hangman, because for my pick, I gotta go with the man whose house he burnt down. Whose house is that? One Swerve Strickland. I feel like Swerve's always been a great promo, but I don't know, something about this year, just like, I can't even talk. Like, is this his confidence went through the roof. And just the way he come across in promos, and just how he's just lyrically like tore people. I mean, Jesus, he's like destroyed Ricochet.
That's not difficult to do on the mic.
Well, I'm talking about like Ricochet, like yeah. I'm just talking about in general, like the Travis.
I feel like I could out promo Ricochet.
Well, I'm not saying he like I'm just talking about it just tore him apart as far
yeah,
as
it's true. He's
that's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, what would you say if I said Ricochet's your promo of the year? I'd be like, what the fuck? Get out of here.
I will
Get out of
roll
here.
away.
Get the fuck out of here. But hell, who knows? 2025, maybe he has a breakout year, and we play this
We
clip.
have a better chance of me walking again.
And there is our wheelchair joke of the day that we got to go. Always
I kinda wish Matt was here for that.
touche. Mike, who's your promo artist of the year?
It's actually Swerve, ironically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you
I
go.
just wanted to make Chris. I just wanted to pop Chrissy. I just wanted to get that facial reaction because that's fucking hilarious every time.
Touche, sir. B-roll. What about you? Who's your promo artist of the year?
Well, I don't know that I want to answer now that it's been so ridiculed.
No, you're not Ricochet.
You're talking about the one and only? No.
No. For this one, I think I consulted with you on this one, XLJ, and I said I think I have to give the devil his due. 'Cause I'm not a huge fan of this person, but I will say they probably were the best on the mic this year.
Jeff Jarrett.
Hanging on every word. You wish. CM Punk. I will give the devil his due.
Yeah. I mean, Punk's that's a hard one to pass up. I mean,
Can't argue.
yeah. I mean, Punk's Punk. He's one of the all-time greats. So yeah. And I mean that the feud and the stuff.
Ricochet was a close second, though.
Ricochet was a close second. Yeah. Well, Chrissy, I hope and pray to God you chose Ricochet as promo artist of the year.
Oh, God.
Who's your promo artist of the year.
I'm smashing Samantha Irvin before I ever pick Ricochet as the promo artist of the year. Let me tell you.
Damn, that's awesome.
Can I watch?
Man, like you guys pick such good answers. But yeah, speaking of devils, mine is MJF. And I know that he was injured for most of the year, but man, that comeback promo alone was amazing. The heel turn work that he did with Daniel Garcia, the promo work that he did after that, like they have him working with Jeff Jarrett right now, which is a very, very odd choice. But I feel like MJF is one of those that he can literally work with anybody and he will find a way to make it work. Despite how you feel about him as a person, I really feel like he picked it up towards the end of 2024 from when he came back to now. And I'm really excited to see what he does, like no leash in 2025. I missed him a lot and I'm just really glad that he's back.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm okay. This is my honest opinion. The Jeff Jarrett stuff's fucking killing him right now.
Yes.
Like, it's so cringe. It's like,
yes.
Like that shit's got to end soon. Like I don't know who they're gonna put him up against next. You know what I would do? I tell you what I would do. Put him against Swerve. Let's have that back and forth.
I would lose all of that.
They had a great feud at CZW. I wouldn't mind them running it back.
And I can tell you this right now, Swerve would whip his ass too.
Kind of.
Oh my God, the
He
promo
would shred him up
would be
to pieces.
amazing. MJF interactions with Prince Nana alone, I would pay. I would pay front row tickets.
Yeah, that's but yeah, old Max, he's always one of the masters of the mic. Yeah, I'm like you. I want to see what he does, but we gotta get past this. No disrespect to Jeff Jarrett, but this shit is just
all disrespect for Jeff Jarrett.
No, I was gonna say no. Yeah, disrespect.
All disrespect.
yeah, well, yeah, fuck him. Anyways, moving on. A new, yeah, you got that B-roll. Up next, another new category here, which is kind of crazy. We haven't done this before, but it's finisher of the year. Who had the best finishing maneuver of the year? A lot of great finishers out there. I'll give you mine. I think this finish, when you see it, to me, a finish is just like it's breathtaking, right? It's like, okay, and this match is going to end 99.9% of the time. But I think one of the most underrated and breathtaking finishers out there, I went with Speedball Mike Bailey's The Ultimate Weapon. That fucking thing. Oh, is that what you went with too?
Same here.
Yes.
That's the best finisher. That is the most
Dude.
realistic, scary looking finisher out there. Yes.
Yeah, he looks like he's murdering people every time he does it. It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah.
If those knees landed on me, I would break something, which is saying something that's all padded.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. But yeah, I think that's definitely one of the most devastating finishers. And seriously, it should be. I get it up there. It's like the one wing angel. Just like when you see it, it's like it's game over. Like it's just, yeah, they're not kicking out. Chrissy, what about you? Who's your finisher of the year?
So, since B-roll got to have a tie, I'm taking that opportunity now. And if y'all tell me I can't, then all of you are racist and sexist.
God.
So try and stop me.
We are equal opportunity here. Cole TV. We love everybody. We love the people.
So it's a tie for me. It's between the house call from Swerve Strickland in AEW and the prettiest moonsault ever from Tiffany Stratton in WWE. They're both just such gorgeous moves when they're executed correctly. Swerve seems like he can hit a house call from anywhere, which is so incredibly impressive, especially requiring the physicality that it needs to hit to hit a house call correctly. And I'm so sorry. The prettiest moonsault ever is better than Charlotte Flair's moonsault.
Yeah.
By leaps and bounds, better than Charlotte Flair's moonsault. Tiffany's gymnastics background really shines with the prettiest moonsault, and she is so stupidly consistent with the way that it looks, with the way that it hits. It's very rare that you see a prettiest moonsault look different when it's performed from one day to the next, and that just shows how talented Tiffany is with her ability to be consistent, the same way with Swerve. So that's why those two moves are my finishers of the year.
Yeah, those excellent candidate and winners. I love it.
I did debate on having a house call being mine for like a second. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that moonsault, it's like an angel flying through the air. It's just like, oh my
It's so
God.
good.
It's so
And
crisp.
honestly, like the blonde hair, the gear, the height, like she is very aware of who she is both physically and as her character. And it just suits her so ridiculously perfect. And that's how good Tiffany is with knowing who her character is. And not everyone does.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's really defined, like she's honed in on that. And dude, her 2025 is going to be crazy. What Tiffany Stratton does. It is definitely going to be Tiffy time for sure. Mike, what about you? Who's your finisher of the year?
I am a homer through and through. You two know this. Everyone here knows this, actually. I went with the house call.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, you Washingtonians. Watch
It's a good move, man. It's a good move.
Yeah.
B-roll, what about you? What's your finisher of the year?
Yeah, for me, echoing Mike's sentiments, I am a homer through and through. So I went with one of my favorites finisher that he used quite a bit this year, and they really ended up telling a good story with it this year too. I went with the Tiger Driver 91 for Will Ospreay.
That's a good one. Yeah, and you're right. It kind of like that move that has this aura around it, like, oh God, when he uses it, he's gonna fucking kill somebody. Which isn't far from the truth. So yeah, that's a good one. So all right. I think this one, other than Best Scout, because he's gonna continue his streak. No, technically, yeah. So I think we all kind of agree on this one. Like, do we all believe, right? I mean, this is like a no-brainer.
No.
No, really? Okay.
Oh, no, not me.
Oh, no shit.
No.
Okay. I thought this was going to be like unanimous.
No.
Okay. For me, Hendry is your wrestling theme of the year because, I mean, Jesus, it took over. It was like on the charts.
I'm with you,
I
brother.
actually got annoyed with that song.
I'm with you, brother. I believe.
Oh, I thought y'all believe.
I believe.
At least B-roll believes. I see how it is. So, but yeah, for us,
I believe.
it's Joe Hendry. I guess it's a no-brainer to me. This was the most landslide victory of them all. So I'm going to be curious to hear what your guys' are. Mike, you're the music guy. What's your wrestling themes of the year?
Ironically, this is a music genre I don't listen to regularly, but because of the two best friends that I do have, I've gotten more into it. I went Julia Hart's theme song.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fire.
That shit is beautiful.
It's a good theme. Yeah.
Banger for days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chrissy, what about you?
So just a quick shout out to Pat the Wise Man. His choice was "This Is My Brutality," the white, the motionless in white version. Especially Rhea coming out with them at Mania 40. That was a huge moment for her, and the song has just like gained popularity since Rhea's still been at like the very top of the universe. My choice is "Big Pressure," which is Swerve Strickland's theme song. Because what the fuck do you mean? You have unseasoned, off-tune white people doing this in the fucking aisles, and every single state they land in. So like, Big Pressure is in my rotation just to listen to. Like, it's just a good track.
It's a great song. I actually have a friend who's in that music video. Shout out to my homie Chris Parks.
That's amazing. But yeah, absolutely. Especially with the year Swerve had, like that song has been everywhere.
That's a great choice too. Best Scout, I am curious. What is your wrestling theme song of the year?
Because so y'all know, like, or at least I think some of y'all know, I'm a big fan of hardcore music. So this guy is in a hardcore band, and he has his band as his theme song, Brody King's theme, "God's Hate, Be Harder."
Yeah.
Like the fucking lyrics to that song, "Life is hard, be harder." I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Like I love that whole album easy. Like he's the best wrestling musician ever. Suck it, Jeff Hardy.
That's not who I thought you were gonna say, but
Jeff Hardy trying to make a comeback with these R&B covers he be doing at signing events. I don't know.
At House of Glory, yeah.
I actually got to see a Jeff Hardy concert in person this year. And let me tell you, I wish I was on more of the Devil's Lettuce at the time. Because it was a tough watch, I ain't gonna lie. It started off kind of fun, and then I was like, oh God, make it go away. But yeah,
it wasn't the highlight of your 2024.
It was not. It was not. So well, interesting. That's interesting. So Swerves was probably my close, but I mean, like I say, to me, it's just like that damn Joe Hendry song just took over the entire wrestling world. So.
I think for me, the way that I think about it is very similar to what we were talking about when it comes to wrestling merch, where it hits more for me if I can take it into the outside world. I can't take the Joe Hendry theme with me into the outside world the way that I can with Big Pressure. So it's easier to like wrestling if they can relate to something like music, and you can freely listen to Big Pressure and enjoy it, as opposed to Joe Henry's theme, which sounds like a wrestling theme.
I'm definitely going to be more prone to having that on my workout list than the Joe Hendry theme. Yeah, that's a really good point, Chrissy. I like, yeah, I see where you are coming from there. But,
and if I could chime in real quick with the whole "Be Harder" song. Or at least him being a Brody King in a hardcore band. I had a friend that likes hardcore on one side, a friend that likes wrestling on the other side. We're talking about wrestling. I bring up Brody King. The hardcore guy stops me and goes, "Hey, are you talking about the lead singer of God's Hate?" Like, yeah!
That's what it's supposed to do.
Transcends the world of pro wrestling. So there you go. Well, we've been talking about it all night. We've had so many incredible, great moments and highlights to share with you and talk about here on Cold TV. That being said, here's another one of those highlights. The safe word is punky.
You did it.
Look at that collarbone.
Holy shit. He's
also
a
the most
Klein model.
Emo kid thing ever to go shirtless with a beanie, Patrick. I love the style choice.
Hold on.
I hate it here. Y'all, were we watching a movie? Y'all, were we watching a movie? We were watching a movie. We were watching a movie. We were gonna watch. Just let him screenshot it, honestly.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep. That angle. People are tuning in there like they don't care what the fuck we're watching.
They are the adolescent, non-binary, mutated, rhinoceros testicle warrior fighter. I smell an enemy of the LGBTQ community. Stomp your agenda out. I'm the right-wing warrior. Marvel at this fascist.
In the nicest way possible, XL. Just the nicest way possible is from one friend to another. What the fuck just happened?
Oh, Pat. We love you dearly.
I had so many dirty jokes when he came on.
Listen, that made it into his birthday post, babe. There was a lot I had to cut out. Jesus Christ.
That should be in everybody's birthday post.
Let me put it like this, y'all. The only place that I have offered to get naked on, and Pat has actually gotten naked on, has been the PW60 channel. So y'all have very, very exclusive access.
Tune in.
Yeah. Oh, will you pass that? Can you pass that? Bro?
Next subject, please.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to give you a good reminder. It's always a good idea to keep a nice.
Mike, do you not
Vaseline
also have Vaseline at your bed table side? I swear to God.
Oh my God. I legit am the only one that don't have it. Like I don't.
Me too. That's fine.
I have a plantar
Is it Lubriderm?
fasciitis roll for my foot. That's what I have. Anyways,
Yeah, I've got Lutron foot spray somewhere around here. But
that episode of Friday Night Movie Night is available now, of course, here on Cult TV. One of our highlights of the year. But let's keep on here with the Golden Headlock Awards. Up next, we're going to talk about your wrestling commentator of the year. I don't like, for me personally, y'all, like there wasn't really, it wasn't a bad year for this, but I didn't really feel like there was anybody that really kind of truly stood out to me. Like I chose this person last year. I'm going to go with them again because I think they're having the most fun of their career. And regardless if you love this person or not, like they are headed towards like the most, I think, longevity wise in the WWE. I went with Michael Cole. I mean, like I say, you can tell he's having fun. Putting him with Pat McAfee is the best thing that ever happened in his career, I think. And just letting him be himself. Like to me, he's the best color person going today.
He's white.
and we just clipped that. He's white. Okay, Chrissy.
I wasn't sure if people were aware. Yeah, the other side of that, my commentator of the year is actually Pat McAfee for what he did for Cole.
Mine too.
Yeah, very similar to how Matt Riddle kind of saved Randy Orton from hating the industry that he worked in. You can tell that Michael Cole adores Pat, loves Pat. It even gives me to the point kind of JR and Paul Heyman vibes when they were commentators together. Kind of Michael Cole reeling and molding Pat McAfee in, and McAfee giving Michael Cole the allowance to kind of be a little bit more wacky, be a little bit more funny. Michael Cole's yeeting on top of commentary desks, for God's sakes. Hopefully Pat can give Michael rhythm as well. That would be great. But you can tell that Michael Cole is probably having the most fun in his career. And I think that comes from McAfee being back. Michael doesn't act the same with anybody else that he does with Pat. And I love Corey. I think Wade Barrett's doing an amazing job. But yeah, definitely for me, it's Pat McAfee. He brings such a jolt of energy to the industry. He makes it even more easy for newcomers to get involved, which is super important for us because if the money machine stops making money, we also have stuff to stop watching. So the fact that he's making wrestling more relevant now than it's ever been is a huge help. And I think he's just hilarious. I love him to death.
Yeah. Pat's awesome. Mike, what about you? Who's your commentator of the year?
I had Michael Cole.
Yeah. You're in that coal mine too, buddy.
Don't do that, because that was the worst fucking gimmick of his career.
Yeah, it was a drizzling shit. So okay. Best Scout. Who is your commentator of the year, and why did you choose Excalibur?
If it's actually Excalibur.
I almost put him on here, but I went with Nigel McGuinness.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I love his heel commentary. I fucking loved how he just shat on Bryan Danielson over the last 2 years. I love him. I wish I could get away with being that much of a shithead.
I think the heel commentator is like a lost art form, and it's so many greats throughout the year. But Nigel, my God, yeah, Nigel was great on color. Yeah,
Some of the best Nigel work was just him thirsting for Mariah May.
Yes.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then just the constant comments against Danielson too. Yeah. That's a great pick. That's phenomenal. I love it.
Phenomenal.
All right, up next here on the Golden Headlocks, we got our faction of the year, the best wrestling faction of the year, Best Scout. Who was start with you? Who's your faction?
Start with me. All right, thank you. I honestly, and I'm going to be honest, real, because I don't watch WWE, so I ain't got a clue what they're doing, and I feel like I'm not a big fan of the factions that AEW have been doing, but I will say the one that is my favorite was the House of Black.
Oh,
even though they're no more, but God, yeah, I love Brody. I love Buddy. I love Malachi, Julia Hart. Those four people are like my evil, spooky four horsemen of today, and they're no longer around. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to the House of Black, but at least they're going out with a golden headlock for the.
Hey, we're going to be talking about 3 of them next year.
Oh,
I think you're right there. Absolutely. Chrissy, what about you? Who's your faction of the year?
This one was a little bit tough for me. Pat, if he was here, his choice was going to also be it was going to be the Death Riders. They came in a little late in 2024, but the impact they had was immense. Me personally, my group was the Rascals.
Ooh.
The restart of the Rascals on NXT, the work that Trey and Zach did on TNA, the turn with Wesley, because a lot of people may disagree with me because, the Rascals didn't last as a faction throughout all of 2024, and that's true, but the work that they continued to do during the breakup timeline was also amazing. Like, it made you really pay attention to Wesley and realize just how much of a star he is outside of a tag team set. Zachary has been amazing. Didn't he win that? You saw him live. You sent me that video, Jeremy, because you know how much I appreciate Zachary. I love him.
Yeah. I was there when he won the X Division title in the Ultimate X match. It was a hell of a match.
And then there's the other Rascals member that I can't legally mention because there may or may not be a restraining order in place. But other than that, legitimately, the Rascals have done such amazing work, and all of them as individuals are so stupidly talented. So to have all of them in the same tag team, they had to break up because it wasn't fair to everybody else.
Yeah. Well, actually, I am in agreement with your partner, Pat. I went with the Death Riders as my faction of the year. Like you said, they came on late, but I mean, they've been one of the biggest plot points in AEW right now. Just with their dominance of and the fact of the matter is, when's the last time we saw the AEW title? Was that Wrestle Dream, and that was back in freaking September. Like how they've kept that belt in the suitcase. And I think oh my God, the stuff it's done for Marina Shafir, like being in that faction has been so tremendous for her. And then putting
She's
Pac
wearing
in
shoes
there.
again.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. She sure is. I didn't even think about that. And
You don't pay enough attention to feet.
I'm not Tony Atlas. No, you're right. But but everybody in that group having an important point. Even Wheeler kind of coming in as like I don't really kind of want to be here, but now I've accepted it. And now he's gone in his fucking emo face. Cut your goddamn hair.
He looks like a
Wheeler.
Muppet.
No,
Oh,
you don't
God.
touch that hair. I love that hair. You leave
He's
it
a
alone.
Muppet.
It's golds. Just like how Dominic has that mustache, Yuta's gonna use that hair and it's gonna fucking skyrocket him.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. B-roll. Who's your faction of the year?
So speaking of Dominic, I went with the Judgment Day. Just because even though the group kind of broke up and morphed into a new version of the Judgment Day, but throughout the whole year, they were definitely their storyline was dominated WWE television, the rise, the fall, everything. So that's why I went with them of my faction of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, they definitely, I think you could say they had a bigger year the past couple years, but still, though, they were a huge part of like, I mean, they were stamped all over SummerSlam. They were like the biggest story really coming out of SummerSlam outside of Roman returning. I mean, they were huge parts with that kickoff, with the betrayal of Mommy, and of course, Priest getting betrayed by Finn. I mean, yeah, that's Judgment Day, and they're still going to this day. So, Mike, what about you? Who's your faction of the year?
I actually had the Judgment Date as well.
There you go. Yeah. Well, it's nobody even said the bloodline, even though like it's not really the bloodline, but whatever, nobody's keeping track. So, up next, this is a big one. The holy shit moment of the years. I don't know about you all, but I had about 4 or 5 of these damn things, like, and I was just like, I don't know which to go with, but I did end up picking one. And it's kind of a moment that I don't know, maybe some of you have this, maybe not. But it was just like, thank God this finally happened. Thank you, Jesus above. This finally happened, because this has needed to happen for so long, and I don't think we ever saw an end in sight. For me, my holy shit moment of the year is the fact that is when Vince McMahon was finally gone from the WWE, because it's just like, oh my God, like, because it's like you thought he was gone, and then the motherfucker came back, and you're like, okay, here we fucking go again. But then finally they drop his ass like they should have, and it's been such a sigh of relief since that old piece of fuck has been gone. So for me, it's Vince being gone from WWE is the biggest holy shit moment of the year. Chrissy, what about you?
Man, that's hard to follow up. Jeez. So for Pat, his choice was the New Day turn. Yeah. Even though it's a little bit towards the end of the year, it's still there and it still hurts.
Gut wrenching.
Like, Jesus Christ. For me, it was almost gonna be another tie. It was almost gonna be another tie. Honorable mention is the MJF return. I literally was texted by my friend, our dear sweet co-leader BC, while I was in his house, in his bathroom.
I was like, "Weren't you in the bathroom when it happened?"
Yeah, he was like, "Get out of the bathroom, MJF's coming back." So I had to wash my hands to make sure I didn't miss it. But my number one choice is the Mariah May turn on Toni Storm.
That's a good one.
Not just for me personally, not just because I have favorites, but legitimately, you can hear the silence kind of start to wave in the arena, because you're like, oh, she's hitting her. Oh, it's a lot. Oh, is that a shoe? Like, and it just didn't stop.
And the brutality of it.
The image of Toni Storm holding her hair while Mariah May is above her, blood trickling down her face while Mariah May kisses her forehead, will be one of those pictures in wrestling history very similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin bleeding while he's in the sharpshooter, the look on Undertaker's face after he realized that he was pinned by Brock Lesnar. It's going to be one of those images that's just going to be burned into the zeitgeist, and that's why that's my holy shit moment of the year.
Yeah, it was definitely one of my candidates. Like that's a great one. Best Scout, what about you?
All right, so this wasn't a story, or this happened within a match, and it's something that I've seen a million times in indie wrestling, and it's happened a little bit in AEW, just a little bit, but on such a grand scale, to see this in a mainstream wrestling company was like had me screaming, and we witnessed something like this ourselves. XLJ, you'll get to it. During Sting's retirement match, Darby Allin going through that glass and just cutting up his entire back was my holy shit moment of the year.
God.
Yeah, that was brutal. Yeah, I saved
Isn't
your
that
life
also the
too,
match that saved him from going to Everest?
Yeah,
pretty
Yeah,
much.
but he's still gonna go. He's
still going. He's going hell or high
He's
water.
taking time off now. Yeah.
Yeah. Seattleites are crazy. They're a little different in the head in Seattle.
Yes. And I just want to say for the record, I saved Best Scout's life this year too. That was one of my highlights of the year.
Oh God, when you these guys are hitting each other with glass, and I love getting up close, and he's like, "No, you're not."
That's true friendship.
There was so much blood at that show. I mean, it was just
I got blood on me.
You got blood on you. I got blood on. Yeah, it was. It was everywhere.
No.
It was a massacre
everywhere.
Mike, what about you, buddy? What's your holy shit moment of the year?
Bronson Reed splashing Braun Strowman through a car.
Oh yeah.
Big man like Braun Strowman getting taken down by the dominating force and getting a tsunami through a car was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah. B-roll. What about you, buddy? What's your holy shit moment of the year?
You well, because I farted.
We've alluded to it. We've alluded to it a couple times tonight, but I think I had to go with Hangman burning Swerve's house down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean that was just
might be it.
Yeah, and the way the way it was shot and just the way Hangman was able to keep that fucking crazy look on his face the whole fucking time, and like how they pulled that stunt off is just miraculous to me. Like no CGI. I mean, it was incredible. So
they made it one of those holiday Yule log things that you can watch while you're opening presents.
Yeah, they did. They sure did, man. Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, those are all great holy shit moments. And speaking of holy shit moments, I think this year we had a couple, but one of the big moments of the year for us, it did occur at Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis this year. And one of the coolest things by far we got to do this year is we got to work with Effie and Alley Catch and our good buddy Cole Radrick, and we actually got to do a sit down interviews with them. So that being said, here's some highlights of those interviews.
We can really get them
Get a little wild.
Yeah. Oh, they don't know? We're going to teach them to that.
We're going to take you on a journey.
Yeah.
I love that.
Opened the door selfishly because there wasn't anything going on. I needed something to work. And now opening the door, it's like, yes, it's beautiful. I'm glad everyone came along. Now you got to do it for yourself. You can get your foot in now. You can be yourself now, but turn it to the next level. Yes, you're welcome. You're here. We're fine with everyone. Let's see what else there is to it. I'm touring at my own show. We sold out in LA. We finished, and I got on top of that ladder, and I had to spout it out. We had to give it to our people. The gays were doing okay. Our trans brothers and sisters, our trans family are still being fucked with, and they're some of the most talented wrestlers. And if you're not a wrestler, they're some of the most wonderful human beings ever. And I stood on top of that ladder, dripping in blood, just saying, like, bring the heat. And I think it's wonderful to be accepted, but now I think they should be a little afraid of us. I think we should redefined what gay bashing is. Gay bashing is what I do to you if you fuck around. Gay bashing is what happens when you disrespect our people. We're not going to keep asking for permission. I want to stand on a ladder covered in blood go, if you don't listen to me, you're going to find out from all of us. And to have that kind of like energy to send out to people, it's amazing. It's magic. It's Scorpion Death Hunt?
Yeah. Maybe.
And listen, I'm leaving the females on Scorpion Deathcock.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know.
Flip a coin on
I'm
that.
respectful of everyone's beliefs, so if we even just call it, the Croacy or something.
Croacy.
It's hard to.
Yoshiko. What was that like?
Never been hit harder in my life. Crazy match. The fact that we were main eventing that show blew my fucking mind. But honestly, how many people could ever say they got to wrestle Yoshiko? You know what I mean? And especially on a collective in a main event.
People think all they are is a Twitter wrestler, and you go, you know what? All you do is fucking watch gifs. You don't actually watch our matches. You don't pay me any money, so I don't care. Die.
Fuck the movie. Can't get time for that.
But for the most part, I love social media. I like popping off funny tweets and looking at cute pig videos.
Oh, I like it.
Me and Effie I
want to have one. So it's just like I don't know.
Pig?
Yeah, a little micro pig. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
They're clean and smart. Since I moved to the Midwest, I've known him literally for so long. This is fucking God. I hated him at first. He was my off. He was my enemy. I did not trust this kid. We're in these shitty IWA locker rooms, and I was like,
mind you, we never really had a conversation ever.
And we never talked. It's listen, that's for another day, another time. That's for the book. But either way, after a while, finally, we became really good friends. And then he made me mad again. He's just really annoying, and he doesn't listen. And he just wants to be sad all the time. And he just wants to go, I want to be 6 foot. I want to be this now. And I want to do this. And I would go, you need to ring it in. And then finally, here we are. He gets it. And now he's a bestie.
Well, I can tell you that was one of the coolest things we got to do is to work with Effie, especially the year they had too. You know, with that great story they told in the breakup, and then just like the whole story with Effie all this year and stuff. And it was really cool too, just getting to work with him for a couple of days too, because just seeing how his mind works, it was really truly like awe-inspiring. So like just one of the coolest things we've done by far to date on Cole TV was getting to talk to them. So awesome moment. Well, let's continue on here on the Golden Headlocks, and up next we have got our most hated wrestler of the year. Best Scout, who's your most hated wrestler of the year?
Wheeler Yuta.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God! He cemented. It was the end of the year where he cemented my hatred for him with John Moxley against Orange Cassidy, and he jumps up, does that psycho knee on him, plus also betraying Bryan Danielson as well. Like, oh my God, I'm so elated when he gets his ass whooped. I am so happy.
I just can't get past the stupid fucking haircut. Sorry, Chris. But that's a good. That's a good pick. Yeah, he's a bitch. He's a bitch. Yeah.
I want him to feel pain now.
Well, I'm going to stay in the AEW roster because I think this person truly personified what a heel is. Because, I mean, you know, you have a lot of heels who people like. This person did one of the most dastardly deeds of the year and has just been doing it nonstop ever since. For me, my heel or most hated wrestler of the year is Mariah May. I feel like the work that she's done and put in, and I mean, dude, she is fucking brutal on the mic. Like, she fucking hates everybody. Fucking everybody. I mean, look what she did with her best friend Mina and how she turned on her. I mean, you know,
what
more
sobbed.
can you say?
I was there live and I sobbed.
Yeah. I mean, what more can you say? Chrissy, what about you? Who's your most hated wrestler of the year?
It's Liv Morgan. I don't know what either of y'all are talking about. It's Liv Morgan. Like, me and Pat agreed on it. You literally had people sending this woman death threats because she was messing with Rhea Ripley. Like, it's insane. You had people thinking that Dominic Mysterio was actually cheating on his recently married wife with Liv Morgan. Like, this woman was getting spat at in the street. Like, if Liv Morgan was getting hate by women for Rhea Ripley thinking that they had a shot with Rhea Ripley when Rhea Ripley is straight. That's how much Liv Morgan is hated. She did
straight.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
I get major
Amazing work.
vibes.
It's so disappointing to me that she does the straight girl thing and pretends to be bisexual.
Right?
But that's for another episode. But yeah, like Liv Morgan has probably gotten Dominic Mysterio levels of heat in 2024, and that's so impressive to do. I think she did a great job as a heel this year.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Mike, what about you? Who's your most hated wrestler of the year?
I had Dominic.
Dirty Dom.
That guy gets booed every time he touches a microphone.
Yeah.
That dude is getting booed out the building every time he just touches a microphone.
Pretty
That
nuclear.
is actually impressive.
B-roll. Who's your most hated wrestler of the year?
Yeah, I actually had Dominic Mysterio as well.
Dirty Dom. Yeah.
How's it going?
I mean, he like you guys say, man, he touches a mic and like instantaneously, like the boos just fill the arena. So, yeah, and the fact now that he's kind of like, okay, trying to get back on Liv's side because he just like such a chicken shit move that
He's a really good chicken shit heel.
Personification of a chicken shit heel. Well, we talked about most hated. Now let's talk about most loved or most popular wrestler of the year. I went on this one. I feel like by far this is the most loved wrestler of the year. I mean, there's a couple of good ones here, but I mean, this person just skyrocketed. Like she had an amazing year the year before, but to me, Mommy is on top. Rhea Ripley's my most loved, most popular wrestler of the year. I mean, just like everybody universally freaking loves Rhea Bloody Ripley. B-roll. What about you? Who's your most popular wrestler of the year?
I went with Joe Hendry. He skyrocketed as well. Became like the hot topic. If you I mean, he was showing up everywhere. Is the thing, and I think almost universally, except for maybe Mike, because Mike said he hated the song, got on his nerves. But I mean, most people would say they like Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Chrissy, what about you? Who's your most popular, most loved wrestler of the year?
It's Chelsea Green for me, especially with the work that she's done on social media. XL, you mentioned earlier, Rhea Ripley. Chelsea's gotten very close almost to the level of popularity as Rhea with a shorter amount of time. And that's what makes it more impressive for me. Less camera time, less opportunities in ring. Just with backstage segments, an Instagram post and a dream, this woman has literally captured the attention of the WWE universe and just wrestling fans alike in a very, very short amount of time in comparison to her predecessors. And I think that's what's most impressive for me. So for me, it's going to go to Chelsea.
That's an interesting, but a great pick too. And I mean, you talk about self-made. I mean, she has done it all on her own. Like, there's no doubt about that. Like, for just the way that she has presented herself and just like we alluded to earlier, her being a locker room leader. Yeah, that's a great pick.
One of the biggest reasons for me alone is when she won the U.S. Championship, and the very next thing she does is come out dressed as Sandra Bullock from Miss Congeniality in the Statue of Liberty outfit, and the sobbing in the comment section of just tears of joy from people who just understood that reference, wrestling fan or not. that's what it's all about. It's about bringing people in who may not be familiar with the product and getting them to love it. And Chelsea's amazing at that.
Yeah, that's a great one. Mike, what about you, buddy? Who's your most loved wrestler of the year?
Chrissy actually talked about how this man has gotten white people to dance off rhythm every night in AEW, and it is Shane Swerve Strickland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, somebody who's watched him pretty much from the beginning of his career. Yeah, I'm a homer. Yeah. And that also goes with the Nana package, because I think Nana's a huge part of that too. So shout the Prince Nana.
Yeah. Best Scout. Who is your most popular wrestler of the year?
Okay, I feel like this man, I feel like I have nothing in common with him, and I have a lot in common with him at the same time. He got well-deserved championships the year before. This year, he lost all of it and has been out for months now, and I feel like we can feel an emptiness, a hole in AEW Dynamite without him there. Eddie Kingston.
Oh, wow.
I love that man.
I miss him so much.
I miss him too. Gosh, it feels like it's almost been a year since he's been out. Eddie, man, I know the year before he got a lot of golden headlocks too, so I'm glad to see he's represented this year as well.
The day he comes back is the day the roof blows off of whatever building they're in.
I'm going to say this right now. I want to talk this into the universe. Eddie Kingston should be the one who dethrones Jon Moxley for that AEW.
Yes.
Fucking do
I
it.
would fucking love that.
Fucking do it.
Yes.
100 shadow trees and everything.
From your lips to God's ears.
Yeah.
I'll ugly cry so hard.
Oh, I would weep.
Mascara will go down my eyes as if Pat the Wise Man was here.
Uh,
I got the joke in. All right.
That was awesome.
Did it.
Oh, my Lord. It's like he never left.
I wish he was here and I could hold him. Anyways, so we talked about it. So many great moments throughout the year here on Cole TV. Here's another highlight of another amazing moment that happened on Cole TV.
Had kidnapped little Ron Simmons early. Oh my God! Listen, come on. All right, okay. We're gonna go get little Ron Simmons right now. Okay, we're going. No, listen, we're going to get little Ron. We gotta go get little Ron Simmons. How big a boy is he? Bring my son with me. Oh man. Are we getting beat up out in the parking lot? I said to somebody, I just said I gotta get little Ron Simmons back to the owner. Oh, we're going to get little Ron Simmons right now. Jamie Dundee. Yeah, taking you to get little Ron. Take me to go get little Ron Simmons. We're Jaden Star Dundee, another Dundee. Yeah, there we go. Dundee's everywhere. We're going to get little Ron. He's up here guarding my BLT sandwich. Hell yeah! Right now, oh man! Right here on top of my truck. Oh, he's bringing me out here. Beat me up in the parking lot. So what's going to happen? Oh man! Guarding my little BLT sandwich, little Ron. Oh, little Ron Simmons, guarding the BLT. Let him go. You take him back to the owners. Oh, I will. They belong to them two gentlemen. All right. They're at the table, and please make him return to his right owner because he's scared and lonely. And I miss you, little Ron. You take care, buddy. You guarded my sandwich. You want some sandwich? I'm good. BLT, bro. I'm allergic to tomatoes. I would die. That's what? I would die. I want to watch what happens.
There's so much I love about that kid.
I'm so glad little Ron Simmons made it home.
And little Ron did.
Honestly,
amazing.
I'm shocked that Jamie Dundee didn't kick his ass. That dude's a little psycho in the head.
I just love how the entire Dundee family was there. You know, like he's just like, oh, here's my son, here's my daughter. Just oh my God, you can't write this stuff.
I'm honestly shocked that Bill wasn't there.
Oh, he was there. You just didn't see him. Yeah, he was there. That was at the wrestling great convention we got to be a part of in Evansville, Indiana, earlier this year. But such a tremendous time, Jay. I just remember Jay coming back and just showing me the footage. It just popped me so hard. But the cool thing was, what you didn't see on there, like Jamie actually took little Ron, met big Ron. Ron Simmons was there, and Ron actually signed the back of little Ron. So I would grab him, but yeah. So
Dreams do come true.
yes.
Have I
yes.
ever showed you his footage of working for Jerry Springer?
Who working for Jerry? Who?
Jamie does
Oh
DJ.
yeah. Yep. Because Chicago, yeah. So, but yeah,
Chicago.
another great and amazing moment. We're gonna continue on here with the Golden Headlocks, and this next one's a big one, folks. Match of the year. So many matches. I mean, this may be the hardest category, honestly, of the year. And I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of Will Ospreay mentions in this damn thing. But I personally, for me, I'm going to be a little biased here because I was here for this moment. It's in this match, and it's a match. I think some of you are going to have. I remember watching this in person was just like, it literally was an out of body experience with everything they did in this match. And it's not a technical masterpiece by any means, but some of the greatest storytelling. Like for me, it's Cody versus Roman WrestleMania 40 Night 2. Like that match, just being there, like, I mean, literally standing the most of the time just because like you just literally are on the edge of the seat, and just the freaking Avengers Endgame like ending with that thing, like holy shit, man! Like it to me that was my match of the year. Like that's a match I'm gonna be we're all gonna be talking about years to come. But my personal experience with that match and being there live was just like it literally made the most perfect wrestling weekend I could think of. So that's my match of the year. B-roll. Which Will Ospreay match did you choose?
So, actually, surprisingly, I actually didn't pick a Will Ospreay match.
What?
I know, shocker. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Will. But honestly, I have to agree with you. It's WrestleMania Night 2, Cody versus Roman as the match of the year. I'm a huge nerd. And so it's like you said, it was Avengers Endgame-esque with how it was all these characters were coming in, and it was all like so sudden, and yet it all made like so much sense, and how it was like literally all tying together, and ultimately the story was finally finished, right? And like you said, not a technical masterpiece, but I don't know how you top it. It was just such a amazing moment, if you will.
What we call cinema, my friend. Okay, best gout. Which Will Ospreay match did you choose for match of the year?
I'm going to be honest. I purposely did not pick a Will Ospreay match because I thought everyone else was going to pick a Will Ospreay match.
Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay, I'm going to mark out if nobody chose Will Ospreay.
And I picked the weirdest fucking match possible because this thing was so batshit crazy. Because I'm a funny guy.
I know.
And this was funny. I picked a match that had 89 wrestlers in it that lasted almost 2 hours. It was a Royal Rumble on crack. I picked the clusterfuck at GCW Collective. That was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen, and I want everyone in the world to take time out of their day to watch this, because it was just bewildering. Comedy wrestlers, serious wrestlers, indie gods, a giant hamster, small people, like...
There was nudity.
There was nudity! There was a full-blown naked man who... by the grace of God, kept all of that from showing while going over a rope. Yeah. Over the top rope. Like, that just... cinema. That was true cinema. You find it in a dumpster.
We're talking like The Godfather versus fucking Biodome here, but yeah.
Yes! Who doesn't have a Biodome? Biodome.
I will be honest with you. My biggest regret of WrestleMania weekend was not going to that show. I was just too tired from WrestleMania night 1, but man, I really wish I went.
Oh,
It was-
I was too tired just watching. Well, I was tired watching WrestleMania and then watching that.
Yeah. Yeah. Chrissy, what about you? What is your match of the year?
Well, looks like I'm the mark because my Will Ospreay match is Ospreay versus Takeshita. Ospreay versus Takeshita, not the one that people would think. It was a tie. It was either gonna be Takeshita Darby Allin from the January 3rd Dynamite. Because that was an amazing match, and I was there live for that. I feel like that match is highly undersung. But yeah, Takeshita Ospreay was just a good fucking match. No major storyline, no pay-per-view build-up, nothing of the sort. It was just a really fucking well-worked match. And that match showed me that Takeshita's a star. Such a fucking star. And literally, once they do the superstar thing where they get his teeth fixed, they're gonna start booking him as a heartthrob. They're gonna start booking him as a heartthrob. He isn't one already. He is on par with Ospreay. He just hasn't had a lot of camera time yet. That match has shown that he deserves all of the camera time and then some.
I think Takeshita's sexy AF.
That pretty man.
Gorgeous man.
Yeah, he is. All right, Mike. Who is your match of the year?
Ospreay versus Swerve at Forbidden Door.
Another great one too.
Good.
You know what surprises me? Nobody. I thought for sure everybody was going to be like either Cody versus Roman or Ospreay versus Danielson. Because that.
I thought everyone else was going to pick that.
Yeah, it's funny how that is. But yeah, dude. Ospreay. God, man, there's so many good matches he had this year. You can't deny him whether you love him or hate him. But both of those matches you guys chose, those are really good ones too. And I'm glad Takeshita gets some love too, because I love me some Takeshita. I'd let him have my baby. Anyways. All right. Show of the year, the pay-per-view of the year, the event of the year. Chrissy, I'll start with you. What was your show of the year?
War Games.
Survivor Series. Okay.
Such a good booked show. The women, as usual, stand out in the War Games match. The men, injuries included, had an amazing match. Those two matches alone on the card would have been enough, but just overall, that was such a well-booked show. So for me, it's War Games.
Nice. Best Scout. What about you? What is your show of the year?
Show of the year goes to AEW Wrestle Dream. You had Darby Allin versus Brody King. You had Mox and Danielson. You had Jay White versus Hangman. I had to write this down to make sure I remember the shit. Takeshita versus Ospreay and Ricochet. Like, that thing had banger after banger.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly moist.
Yeah. You went through 2 jars of Vaseline that
He
night.
said, I was sports entertained.
I was sports entertained so hard that night.
It's like, who had more bodily fluids come out of him that night? Was it you? Was it Dave Meltzer? I don't know. I don't know.
That's so much, guys.
A little too much. Okay. Fair enough. Mike, what about you, buddy? Who is your what's your show of the year? Oh, you're on
I thought I had clicked it. So
yeah,
I had Backlash.
Backlash. Okay, from France.
Yes. And
Yeah,
mostly because of the crowd. The crowd made
Yeah.
that fucking show so entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a damn good pick. I mean, that crowd was phenomenal in that. Like, really, once again, just showing you go to like a different country and just like how well received it is. And I think the rumor is we're doing Mexico this year, right? For Backlash.
I hope so.
That hasn't been
hope so.
announced, but it is.
That's kind of the rumor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they go to Mexico and then don't let Americans buy tickets.
Oh, that'd be fucking wonderful. That's the way it should be.
I hope they pull a Bad Bunny and only Mexican citizens can buy tickets for Backlash.
Oh,
Air horns and like noisemakers everywhere.
Yeah, which I didn't even know what that was until like I went to that show with you.
Oh
guys.
yeah,
You introduced me to that. Yeah,
the guy had that, and you were like, "What the hell is that?"
I was like, "Oh God, what?" Yeah, I as a Caucasian,
He hit the ground thinking it was
Midwestern.
gunshots.
Like, oh yeah, you never been to a Lucha Libre thing. This was even a Lucha Libre show.
We got to get y'all to the East Coast quick. Jesus Christ.
I'm down. B-roll. I think I know you and Shadow's pick because we kind of talked about this a little bit, but go ahead and lay it on the people. What was your show of the year?
You think you know my pick?
Oh, I thought I did. You know, go ahead. Maybe I don't know
You
your
know
pick.
my pick?
I just saw.
You think you know me?
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of cheating, but I have to go Mania. I mean, this Mania was,
yeah,
to me, it was the Mania to end all Manias. I mean, it was just, I feel like it's cheating saying that.
No,
honestly,
honestly, it's my show of the year too, and I'm biased because I was there, but like, holy shit, it was one of the most perfect. Like just the show, like each night was like had something unique to it as well. And like I can tell you this, my night 1, night 2 was like a night and day difference. My night 1, I literally at the main event, some drunk asshole Philadelphia fan like passed out in my seat, but I didn't give a fuck because I was that enthralled with the main event. Of course, they escorted his drunk ass out of there. But anyways, that's besides the point. Still though, I had an amazing time. And then just like we said, the finishing of the story, that whole show. And I mean, this new era we're in, some people have called it the Renaissance era. Some people calling it the Papa H era or whatever that's kicked off. I mean, that was really where it kicked off and started was at WrestleMania 40 this year. It's going to go down, I think, as one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And once again, maybe I'm biased because I was there, but I just felt like that was, for me being that my first WrestleMania, I don't know if it's going to get much better than that. Speaking of WrestleMania, that was definitely one of the highlights for us here on Cole TV, was getting to be a part live there in Philly for WrestleMania week. Check this out.
It's 5 a.m. my time again. I've soaken up the moon, can't sleep. It's 5 a.m. my time again. I'm calling and you know it's me. I'm pushing myself further. I'm just trying to feel my heartbeat beat. I wrap my hands around your neck. You love it when I always squeeze. It's 5 a.m. I'm high again, and you can see that I'm in pain. I've fallen into emptiness. I want you 'cause we're both insane. I'm staring into the abyss. I'm looking at myself again. I'm dozing off to REM. I'm trying not to lose my faith. I love it when you watch me sleep. You spin me around so I can breathe. It's only safe for you and me. I know you won't let me OD. And if I finally die in peace, just wrap my body in these sheets and pour out the gasoline. It don't mean much to me. It's 5 a.m. I'm nihilist. I know there's nothing after this. Obsessing over aftermaths, apocalypse, and hopelessness. know I understand is your sum of tenderness. Oh baby, please just hold me close, make me believe there's more to live. Around, 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 around we go. In this game called life, we are nothing. And I love it when you watch me sleep. You spin me around so I can breathe. It's only safe for you and me. I know you won't let me OD. And if I finally die in peace, just wrap my body in these sheets and pour out the gasoline. It don't mean much to me.
Come on, Cody! Come on, this is it! Come on! Come on, Cody! Come on! Come on! Come on! This is it! Come on! Come on!
I still get goosebumps watching that to this day. Like, just like I can tell you, it's like one of those cool out of body experiences. Just like so, like you saw there, I was like that was childlike for me. I was like a 10-year-old on my couch watching wrestling again. You know, like that was such a great moment. So
That's the beauty of wrestling. When it's good, it's great. When it's good, it's
Right?
great.
It's better than anything else in the world.
It really is.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with y'all more. Well, we got some more golden headlocks to hand out here. This next one, I think, is probably the toughest one of the year. Rivalry of the year. A lot of great feuds going on this year in the world of pro wrestling. Oh, okay. I see you shaking your head over there, best guy. I'm intrigued. What's your rivalry?
Oh, dude! Oh my God! Like immediately, like, I was writing this stuff down. I'm like, rivalry, easy, boom, put it down there. I didn't even have to think about it when I put it pen to paper. Hangman versus Swerve, easy.
Definitely one of the bigger ones.
Best
And he
one
burned
of the
his house
year.
down.
He burned a house down. They're like, what are you going to do? Decapitate someone's kid's leg off or something? No, you burned a house down.
Yeah, it's
You can't
it's hard
up
to
that.
top that. I mean, he put a syringe in his mouth. I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to beat that.
Cinder block and all that shit in that steel cage match. All that beautiful chef's kiss.
Yeah.
No,
we don't even talk about why he burned the house down when Swerve invaded.
He invaded his house.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Don, here we go again.
Oh, Chrissy.
If I hear one more person go for Swerve saying like, "Oh, like he burned down his house," I'm like, okay, and he did the exact same thing. Seth Rollins broke into Edge's house and threatened to be there with his kids. Like, this is wrestling. Brian Pillman brought a gun. Like, this isn't new. Things have happened like this before.
And this is why I'll never be a wrestler. My family's safety.
So what you're saying is Al Snow should have burnt down the Big Boss Man's house. You're probably right.
Oh, absolutely.
If somebody did that to my dogs, I totally would have. Chrissy, what about you? What's your rivalry of the year?
Punk and Drew. Punk and Drew.
Yeah.
It was a close one with Pat and Tony and Mariah. And you know I love those girls, but man, Punk and Drew literally made me fear that they were actually beefing backstage. That's how good it was. They made a fan bracelet made by a young girl, and they rode with that for the better part of a year, and it worked.
Yeah.
It made me realize just how good Drew McIntyre is. And I knew he was amazing, but man, Drew McIntyre as a crash out is probably now one of my most favorite things.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they got something so simplistic like a bracelet over, it was almost comical at first, but when it turned into, and my God, easily having one of the best Hell in a Cell matches that we've probably seen in the past 10 or 15 years.
Agreed.
Easily. Mike, what about you, buddy? What's your rivalry of the year?
I had Drew and Punk.
B-roll. I think you had the same, didn't you?
No, I did not.
I thought
for
that's
me,
what you wanted. Okay.
I had Mance and Effie.
Yes, let's fucking go.
Fuck
I had
yeah,
Mance
let's
and
fuck
Effie.
yeah.
That was mine
really
too.
just
Yeah.
had it. I had said I feel like throughout the year, I like changed this answer, right?
Yeah.
Just off of like recency, but like what Effie and Mance were doing, like it really like it started at the beginning of the year, and then it kind of, the went their own ways, and then in the year
and
picked
so
back
many
up and
different
everything.
other people involved in it. So many different people like affected by it got over. I mean, the story it's like a classic story. When you think about it, it's just like you have somebody like an Effie who is like one of the most successful wrestlers, and then you have a friend like a Mance who just is kind of like over, like Effie as over as he is, but he's not going to that next level. It's like almost like he's accepted like what he's done, that like but it's like it's about the title. This is wrestling, right? It's about the championship. And the Man's kind of like fuck you, and then for him to get that moment and become the champion. And then you look at all the different Effie's friends involved in that. Everybody with Allie and what happened with there, and Allie turning on Effie ultimately because she kind of felt the same way like Mance did. And then Manders, you look at Dark Sheik, you look at our buddy Cole Radrick, and just what a tremendous moment they just had at Hammerstein. And I loved how that story went with like Cole ultimately choosing friendship, unlike Effie's other friends who kind of like left him behind or whatever. Like just everything about that they did this year was incredible. And Mance Warner, the work he did and stuff, especially like with the crowd, like the ultimate, one of the best heels of the year by far. Everything about that rivalry was just, to me, chef's kiss. And you talk about brutal matches, Cage of Survival with Effie and Mance Warner. If you haven't seen that match, holy shit, that is one of the most brutal matches of the year, which is saying something. So to me, yes, that's the rivalry of the year as well. I agree, was Effie versus Mance. All right, now we're talking tag teams. The top tag team of the year, which honestly, I don't know how you all feel, but I kind of felt like it was an okay year for tag teams, but it wasn't like a super strong one. There wasn't really like a big candidate in this one. Like B-roll, you're the tag team expert here. You love your tag team wrestling. Who did you go with your tag team of the year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of a sad year for tag team wrestling, in my opinion. Honestly, now that's not to discredit any of them, because there were moments, right? But I don't know. I just think back to a couple of years ago. It's like tag team wrestling was so red hot. But for me, I went with Jade and Bianca. Just simply, they were the most dominant out of all the tag teams.
Yeah, I think that's a solid pick. I mean, they had a pretty good year, like you say, dominant, pretty much the champs all throughout. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to kind of see where that story's going with. Mike, what about you, buddy? Who's your tag team of the year?
So I'm gonna pull Chrissy, and I have a tie.
Okay.
The first one is NXT's Fraxium.
Yeah.
has dominated the NXT Tag Team division. They have put on banger after banger when it comes to matches. And then secondly is a independent tag team. And in the year 2024, they held 4 tag team championships all at one time. They held the Prestige Tag Team Championships. They held the Defy Tag Team Championships. They held the Smash Tag Team Championships in Canada. And they held the Pride Style Tag Team Championships. And they signed to TNA Wrestling in 2024. And I'm talking about Judas Icarus and Travis Williams, Sinner and Saint.
Oh, okay.
That's a good choice.
That's a good choice. Yeah. I agree with you. I actually went with Fraxium as well as my tag team of the year. I mean, they were pretty much held the belts all throughout the year. I got to be there in person to see them challenge against Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, which that was
And they
a hell
were
of a
defending
match.
their titles tonight on TNA.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, I think Fraxium. I think that's a solid pick. Chrissy, what about you? Who's your tag team of the year?
It's Fraxium. It's Fraxium. They did an amazing job this year. There's really no other way around it.
Yeah, I mean, super talented guys too. And the thing is, you kept thinking they're going to break up, and like you're still thinking that to this day, but they're still continuing to retain the tag titles. So, it's like almost who's going to stop Fraxium? Best Scout, who's your tag team of the year?
In a year where mainstream wrestling tag team wasn't really, it was kind of, one team in the indies blew my mind. I love them, and like they're just always in my head. In my head. Zombie. Violence is forever.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I mean, the longest reigning GCW tag team champions. That almost makes me think, shit, I should have picked them. But that Violence is Forever is a great pick. Had an amazing run. Also, working in your neck of the woods too, right, Mike? Weren't they working?
Yeah, they worked in California. They came up
Yeah.
here. They've been to Defy a couple times, but they work mostly in Cali.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Those are great picks. Violence is Forever.
Love them.
Yeah.
Nice guys.
Super nice guys. Oh my god.
We love when they're nice in real life.
They are so
They're so sweet, and I'm like, you guys are so violent in the ring.
Yeah, we kind of saw a scary moment with them at the beginning of the year. We were at a show in Indy, and we had like just some fucking idiot next to us who was just being a drunk dumb fuck. Spouted out some racist comments, and I thought Dominic was gonna fucking murder him.
He could murder him,
and he could have easily. But Kevin was able to keep his cool. But yeah, it was just like a fucking like holy shit, craziness. So, well, we've talked about it all.
It was so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Brett Lauderdale came out and talked to the guy.
Yeah, and the guy shut the fuck up and didn't do shit after that. I think they should have kicked him out. That's another story. But anyways, well, you've seen it all tonight here on the Golden Headlocks. We've talked about it. 2024 was just one of the most amazing years that we could possibly hope for and dream. But as great as everything that we did this year, personally, I can say this without a shadow of doubt, the coolest thing we did, the biggest accomplishment we achieved this year on Cole TV is we made a movie. That's right. Our first movie here on Cole TV. It was Friday night movie night, the movie, the Christmas special. Here's a little clip from this cinematic masterpiece.
Finally, the cold drinks. This is all I want.
What the hell? Where am I? Wait a minute. Why does this place seem so familiar? What is this place?
Need a light? I'm witty as fuck.
Oh yes,
Brava, brava.
Witty as
meeting,
fuck.
the meeting of the minds, so to speak. But seriously, I our tips touched. Yes, our bellies touched. We all touched. We touched a lot. It was a magical weekend. But seriously, that definitely has always been a lifelong dream of mine. And to actually get to do it with like some of my best friends, like I can't thank you guys enough. Jay, of course, as well. Like Jay's such a huge part of all this. Like we, which by the way, it's our third highest ranked video on Cole TV. By the way,
Already?
only behind
Damn.
WrestleMania, only behind WrestleMania's night 1 and 2. So, with over 2,000 views. So, thank you so much for all the love. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a good. Let me just say this: like we have submitted, like a little behind the scenes, pull back the curtain. We have submitted to Guinness to try to get the world record for the most mentions of. This is legit, by the way, Best Scout.
I
We're
bet.
trying to get the world record for the most mentions of cum sock in a Christmas special. I think we're gonna do it.
Oh my god.
We're gonna do it.
So I need a counter. We need to have a count. Did you count?
Jay did, and it's a lot. I forget how much. It's a lot.
At least 200.
Yeah, it's easily over.
Oh my
100.
god.
But yes. But seriously, thank you all for the love and support for because that was such a personal passion project of ours, and like seriously, from the bottom of my heart, it was a lifelong dream come true. We had such a fun time doing it, and spoiler, we are potentially talking about a sequel. Just saying, there could
For
be
Arbor Day.
for Arbor Day.
I was gonna say for Easter.
So, well, we have 2 more awards to give out here at the Golden Headlocks. And up next, we are going to talk about our female wrestler of the year. I think this is another category that is loaded. There's several different talent I think you can go with on this one. Best Scout, I'm going to start with you. Who's your female wrestler of the year?
All right. As we all know, I love me some Japanese stuff. And Homegirl can toss it up with the best of them. She wrestles men. She's wrestled with Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Koo from Violence is Forever. She wrestled Jordan Grace this year. She was the champion at TJPW at the beginning of the year, and I love her. She was a sweet person in person. Mia Yamashita, the Pink Striker.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah, she is super sweet. I got to see her at that TJPW show and the as part of the collective. So yeah, that's a good pick.
And also, I like to point out. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, if she ever gets signed to a major company, I'm going to be so sad to see her not wrestle men anymore.
Unless it's a company that has intergender wrestling. Probably not. Mike, what about you? Who's your female wrestler of the year?
A woman who was in 2022. She started as the first ever Defy Women's Champion. She lost it halfway through this year, and then as soon as she lost that title, she became the first ever Rhodes Wrestling Alliance Women's Champion. That is Vert Dixon.
Oh, that's a great pick. She's had a hell of a run so far. I got the privilege to get to see her too, man. She's an amazing performer. Chrissy, what about you? Who's your female wrestler of the year?
I lost. Hold on. Let's see if I can. That's not it. I I wonder who.
Gee, I wonder who.
Possibly be who could. I don't know. It's Tony Storm. Like I'd have if anyone here has watched me on this channel before, it's not super surprising who would be my number one pick for 2024, 5, 6, 7 into the rest of the years ever. It's her. But also, all jokes aside, she was PWI's number one wrestler of 2024. So, that just doesn't come out of nowhere. And she's done so much from NXT UK to the first run with Ruby Riott and with Saraya, with just she's so ridiculously. I know I keep saying this. It's almost like the word cinema, but she's talented, man. She is. Even with what she's doing right now with the amnesia gimmick, where no one thought that was going to work. And now we're cheering for Toni Storm, this brand new up and start, brand new ingenue that's in the industry. She already won PWI's Woman of the Year, and she's only had 2 matches.
I know.
She's incredible.
Rookie of the Year, for sure.
Rookie of the Year. It's just amazing. And this is more on a personal front, but my aunt was a very, very big Turner Classic Movies fan. Very big into the History Channel, black and whites, things like that. So seeing Toni give so much respect to that gimmick and really making it work to the point where Turner Classic Movies showed up on AEW.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was
Holy
awesome.
shit!
That
Holy
was pretty
shit!
cool.
The 23 thing on TNA?
Yeah.
Mance fucking Warner.
What? Man,
What?
Warner's in fucking TNA.
He attacked Sami Callihan and he brought Stephanie DeLander with him.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. I was not expecting that.
That is huge breaking news here. Hey, there you go. Wow.
Sorry, I got it sent to
that's
me.
huge. That's huge. Okay. Damn.
Some other
Back to
huge
back-
things happened. But
Yeah, already
watch TNA tonight. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that B-roll or no, let me back there. Yeah, Timeless Toni Storm. I mean, the year she had, and the fact is, Chrissy, what she was off for 3 months or 4 months or something like that.
Around so, yeah.
I mean, and the fact that she's still such a dominant. I mean, yeah, she's having the best run of her career by far. B-roll, what about you? Who's your female wrestler of the year?
For me, it would have to be Liv Morgan. Honestly, probably the most dominant run of the year. I think. Yeah.
You know what's funny is that's who I went with too. And it was hard to pick. It was between Toni, Mariah, and Liv were the 3 names that kept sticking out to me. But with Liv, it's just I mean, this is definitely the biggest run of her career, and she deserves it. I mean, Liv Morgan's an amazing performer, and it took so damn long, for whatever reason, for her to finally get her flowers and get a good, decent, solid run, and just the stuff she did this year with Dominic and the feud with Rhea. Yeah, it was hard to pick against Toni and Mariah, but I had to go with I am in agreement with you, buddy. I had to go with Liv Morgan as my female wrestler of the year. Well, we have one more award to give out here at the Golden Headlocks. The male wrestler of the year. A lot of great candidates for this one. My answer for this is it may be you can agree or disagree, say whatever about the run, but it was about finishing the story. To me, it's Cody Rhodes as your male wrestler of the year. I mean, Roman's the face of that company.
Yeah.
He kind of put into the light of now Cody's the face of the WWE. I mean, to me, it's just hard to pick against Cody Rhodes. That's my male wrestler of the year. What about you, Chrissy? Who's your male wrestler of the year?
It's Swerve, man. It's Swerve. He's too fucking cool for us, man. We need to be thankful that he even agreed to let us watch him last year. Like, he was too fucking good. Too good. Too good. He managed to make Paige relevant again.
Yeah.
With that feud. Let's be real fucking honest here.
Yeah.
Like, and I love Paige, but he gave him such a fucking shot of adrenaline. And I think it's going to be very similar to how Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are, where you can throw Paige and Swerve together forever and they'll work. Because that's just what they're destined to be. Certain people have platonic soulmates for them written in the stars. And I feel like in terms of wrestling, Swerve and Paige are that for each other. But definitely Swerve is the best male wrestler of 2024.
Yeah. I mean, that's hard to argue. What about you, B-Roll? Who was your male wrestler of the year?
I was like you. I went with Cody as well. He had the moment of finishing the story, obviously, and kind of like you said, just I mean, the run hasn't been bad. It hasn't been great. I really have appreciated the stuff he's done with like Kevin Owens. I think that's been great. Easily his best feud that he's had. But yeah, I don't know. I think it says a whole lot to hold the title for the whole year. I think a close, second for me would be Gunther, and then Swerve as well. But I mean, if you're nitpicking, Cody did beat Gunther at the can't even think of the name of that show, the Dirty Saudi Money show.
Dirty Saudi Money show too, yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, for me it was Cody. I would say it's for me, this one was a lot closer than the women's was, though. There wasn't really, I wouldn't say he like ran away with it, but
you just had adrenaline in your soul. Am I right?
Yeah.
Dad joke. Mike, who's your male wrestler of the year?
Shane Swerve Strickland. It's Swerve's house.
Swerve's house. It's an interesting. This is interesting. We kind of got a little bit of a tie here. Best Scout, you would technically be the tiebreaker, and we already know you're not going to pick Cody Rhodes. So,
can you? I'm sorry.
That would be the ultimate swerve.
That would be the ultimate swerve, but I didn't pick Cody Rhodes. This year, male wrestler of the year is, for me, Will Ospreay.
Good choice. I can't even be mad at that one either.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I was going to say.
I did my best matches of the year list on TikTok, and my wife was like, after a while, she was like, "Okay, is Will Ospreay in every one of them?" Like almost, almost everyone.
Yeah,
yeah. He was a god this year. It was like almost every match was like unreal. He's not human.
Yeah, it's
that's why he has that weird haircut.
Like, I mean, you could say, oh, well, he didn't win the AEW or he didn't win the world title. Like, it doesn't matter like how many titles he won. Like the performances he put on, the rivalries he's had, the matches he's had, everything Will Ospreay's done. And like, I think there was a lot of naysayers and doubters about Will Ospreay coming into AEW. But I mean, everything I feel like he's done in AEW has been so very well done.
Fit like a glove.
Fits like a glove. I mean, I think there's certain wrestlers that work their best in like a WWE style of work, and there's certain wrestlers who work better in AEW, and I think Will Ospreay is definitely on the top of that list as far as like working in it. It works for him, man.
Spray.
Elevated.
That's a good
Just
fucking
new haircut, man. Just need a new haircut. Just stop looking like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, bro.
I love me some JTT.
Swing 25.
I like GTT. Excuse me.
We are not ending this award show talking bad about the great Jonathan Taylor Thomas, damn it.
I mean, listen, Eric Matthews got dissed on the fucking debut episode of Raw, so let's
Damn.
not even go there.
We are not. We love. Listen, JTT, if you're watching, we love you.
We love average-looking white boys from the '90s with floppy hair. That's really what that is, honestly.
Oh God. Oh,
I'm taking you down, JTT.
how the hell did this turn into like? Yeah. Anyways,
I'm you and me, blood sport.
Oh
I challenge you to a blood sport match.
Oh my God.
JTT. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Don't be cruel to JTT. Well, in closing, let's look ahead to the year 2025. Lots going on already that's happened. We know probably one of the most emotional moments of this year by far is the John Cena retirement tour has started. I want to ask you all, like, do you have what's a prediction you have for 2025? What's something you want to see or you think is going to happen in the year 2025? Go ahead, B-roll. Go ahead, B-roll.
All right, I've said it. I've gone on record saying this before. Joe Hendry's winning the Royal Rumble.
I love you, but you are batshit crazy. Like, he's already working. Like, supposedly he's working the Jericho cruise, but I would be like, get the fuck out of that and be working the Rumble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love you, buddy, but there's not a snowball's chance in hell Joe Hendry's winning the Royal Rumble. But hey, clip it if that happens. Cool. Clip it. But I think he'll be in it, but he ain't winning it. Shit. Chrissy, what about you? What's something you want to see in 2025?
Punk wins the title.
Oh, okay. CM Punk wins the title. I gotcha.
Punk finds
That'll
a way to
probably
win the
happen.
title. Not the one that's on Raw. He somehow finds a way to SmackDown and he wins that title.
Let me ask you this: does it have
He's
to
probably
happen
going
at
to win the
Wrestle?
Rumble. That would be my
Does it-
honest prediction.
Yeah. Does it have to happen at WrestleMania, Chrissy?
No.
Okay.
More likely than not, they're gonna redo a Summer of Punk. It's gonna be a SummerSlam win.
Okay.
Just enough to give everything that's going on right now time to wrap up. That way they can take advantage of the WrestleMania spot, because I don't think Punk's winning the Royal Rumble, but they could lay groundwork from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, then have that build up from Backlash to SummerSlam. And I think that's when Punk wins the title.
Yeah. We got Mike back with
So,
us. Mike, what about you,
agree
buddy?
with me that Joe Hendry's winning?
Well, you gotta let that
No,
go.
the person who I think is winning the Royal Rumble, honestly, I think it's gonna be Drew McIntyre.
I would
Drew.
be really surprised. I feel like my prediction, I think it's either going to be Cena or Roman. It's not a big, but that's what my gut tells me. Mike, what about you, buddy? You got any big predictions?
Cena's going to win his 17th title. He's going to break the record.
Woo! I could see that happening. I definitely could see that happening. Would not be surprised in the least bit.
Wouldn't be mad.
Me personally, I'm going to tell you one I'm going to throw out there, and I'm being like, maybe this is bias, but I believe in my heart of hearts, Cole Radrick will be your GCW champion by the end of the year. I said it. You heard it here first. Ratty Daddy's getting that GCW title.
I love you, Ratty Daddy.
We love you, Ratty Daddy. And Best Scout. What about you, my friend?
All right, I got two predictions for 2025. One, I believe either Orange Cassidy or Darby Allin will become AEW World Champion. Or maybe both, but at least one of the two. I believe in my heart of hearts that's going to happen this year. Now, the second prediction that I have is that I am going to whoop Jonathan Taylor Thomas's ass in that ring with no ropes at all at Bloodsport. You hear me, Jonathan Taylor Thomas? I'm calling your ass out.
Tim Allen is a special guest referee.
Oh, fuck him. Fuck Tim Allen. We want the moon there.
And his big brother was going to be in JTT's corner, but he got another DUI, so that's not going to happen. Thank you so much, Michael, Best Scout, Chrissy, for joining us here on the Golden Headlocks. It's been an amazing, wonderful night. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And we cannot wait to see what happens this year in 2025 for the world of pro wrestling. Everybody take care.
That's not
Bye.
JTT. Go down, JTT.
Not going to happen.